You know what I mean? You wait? Okay. Wow. Okay, look at this. Almost everybody who registered showed. It's because a whole bunch of people who did not register show up. You know who you are. Those of you who registered for Friday and Saturdays, like, Chris, we have a small problem. They're here. So, okay, last night I made a weird decision. The decision was to go to a dinner party. If you know anything about me, you understand why it's weird, because I don't do dinner parties. But doing a dinner party before a 3-day event is like stupid. And a party that starts at 8 and ends at 11 is stupid. And to be in a noisy place and talk before you have to talk all day for 3 days is stupid. But I went. And the host, he's an amazing guy. His name is Chef Michael. Shout out to Chef Michael. He has a beautiful work-live situation where he invites people literally into his home. Does anybody here know Chef Michael in Glendale? Okay, he's an amazing person. They have this thing that they're doing, and he's really good at building community. And I saw how a socially adjusted extrovert deals with meeting with people. I was like, oh my God, there are levels to this game, levels in which I do not understand. And there are things that he said that I will not say to you. But he said things like, welcome to my home. And you know the rules here, my house is your house. That don't fly here. But I was like, last night I was tossing and turning. I was like, I got to bed probably at 1 o'clock, and I knew I had to be up at 6:30 or something like that. But I just couldn't sleep. I got up at 4:30. I was thinking, do I need to change my ways? Do I need to loosen up and let go of the control? And if you went to Michael's house, you'd walk into a creative Disneyland. He has paint on the walls. He has a chessboard on the ceiling with actual chess pieces, and it's wild. It's like Alice in Wonderland. And he has a hammer stuck in the wall still with holes in it with money coming out of the wall. And he has a suitcase with a lot of fake $100 bills and 1,000 lamps and candles. It is eclectic, and it's weird, and it's wild, and it's wonderful. That is not this place again. So you see a theme here, everybody? All right. So let's go through some basic housekeeping stuff, and we'll get going, okay? Number one, there are only 2 bathrooms here, technically. There are more than that, but we have a tenant, and they use most of the space. And the reason why we couldn't let you park inside the garage today is they have a big investor meeting today. So I guess big money beats no money. That's how this works. We tried. We're like, please? They're like, no. Our people need it. No. Okay, so here's the situation. You're all here because you found a parking spot. Yeah? And I did send out an email late last night as I was like drifting into unconsciousness. Did you guys get it about where to park? Some of you did. I don't know if it worked out or not. You may have to lie or cheat to get that parking space, but there's a parking spot on 17th and Colorado, which is a block up, for you to charge while you're waiting for the metro station. You know, in air quotes. I'm not responsible if you get a ticket, but let's just do this. If you're on a meter and you have to be out of here, let's just make sure you set your alarms to silent, but that you go and take care of that. So anytime you need to go feed the meter or you got to go do something else and stretch your legs, please exit out that way so that, because we're filming, we're doing things, we don't want to distract. But if you're in front, just get up and go do that, okay? Does everybody here know where the bathrooms are, the 2 bathrooms? Sort of? They're like out this door and to the right-hand side. There's 2 of them, and they're usually locked. I don't know how we're doing that so that you can actually get in them, but they're theoretically there. I'll just say if you go to our tenant's bathroom, just do it super stealth. Look like you're rich. That's the key. Walk in there with an air of confidence and just like, I own this place. Literally, I own this place, okay? Maybe cover up your I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't want to get in trouble with them, but in an emergency, use their bathroom. But I didn't say that. This is not being recorded. Okay. So that's the bathroom situation. And just to let you know the lay of the land, there's just a really loose agenda. I'm really here for a different reason. I'll explain why. But in terms of like when we break, we're going to break around 1 o'clock, and you're all going to disappear for about an hour and a half. We need to reset this room. There's things that we need to do that Drigo and I, despite having been here multiple days over the last couple of weeks, we're still not done with this. So we got to do certain things that we haven't worked out yet, okay? And I'll make recommendations of where you guys can go. There's a lovely little place. There's a hole in the wall, favorite like taqueria, down the street, walking distance, that way, 3.5 blocks. It's called Tacos Por Favor. I'd highly recommend you go there. It's quick, it's easy, it's efficient, it's Mexican food. If there's problems with that, you'll have to figure out where else to go, okay? So that's the food situation. That'll be a 90-minute break to get you to stretch your legs. What I would encourage you to do, especially for all you shy, introverted people, and I know who you are, try to go with somebody. Make a new friend today, okay? And speaking of friends, we have friends who flew in, drove, walked, biked from close by and very far away. I know the people who traveled the farthest to be here. Let's not go with them first. Let's just say who had to travel a city away from here? What city? Huntington Beach. That's okay. Yeah, traffic, you know. How long did it take you to get here? Hour 45. Almost the same from Pasadena. A little bit better, but yours is a little bit longer. Orange County? Same area. Yeah. Well, she didn't want to say OC. Yeah, same. Okay. Who else? Who's a different city? Huntington Park. Is that near you? No. Okay. It's LA. Okay. In the back. Canoga Park. Where is that? The Valley. Like up to 405? Around there somewhere? Where? 101? Like towards Calabasas? Oh, the porn capital? Yeah, Woodland Hills. Yeah, I know exactly kind of where it is. Okay. Okay, where else? Any other cities? Okay. Out of state. Who traveled out of state? Oh, whoa. Holy cow. Okay. Kinga, where from? Austin, Texas. You didn't drive here, did you? Okay, good. Smart lady. Okay. Out of state? Who else is out of state? Chicago. And my muscular friend here, Jody. Jody, show me your biceps. Show me the guns. Just show it right now. Jody, make all the guys feel super self-conscious. See what I'm saying? Okay, intermission, tangent. Tomorrow, some of you guys are part of my Futur Pro community. There's usually a physical challenge, and I thought about making it complicated, and Drigo's like, dude, I have enough on my plate, don't do that. We're going to walk to the beach, those who want to, right? And there's this thing called the Venice Rings, and if those of you know, those of you who were here last time know that it was a complete catastrophe. The Venice Rings is a challenge. It's an upper body strength challenge with some core and some endurance. And there's some grace about it because some people are not very graceful at doing it. And the idea is you have to travel all the way to the farthest ring and come all the way back. And I know it sounds in your mind super easy. It's not. It's not. And the rule was we don't get to go home until somebody completes it. And we were there for a really long time. Yes, Fudge is right. Absolutely. Melanie, what happened? You were the chosen one. Oh, wait, I got you a mic. Here we go. You were the chosen one. What happened, Melanie? Oh, you're right in front of the speaker. It's literally right there.
What happened was the grace, I think, is the part that we all underestimated.
Stand up here. You're right in front of the speaker.
We all underestimated. And Chris said, because they're very tall, those of you that are my height, Chris literally had to help boost me onto the rings, and that boost though, actually I'm gonna start here. Chris said, have grace, momentum, and don't let go because you'll get one shot. And you were not joking. You have one shot because it's so hard. So that's why we're pumping you up, Jody, because I was the only one out of the women that made it all the way through. And I missed a ring, by the way, held on, kept going, made it all the way to the end, and then I dropped on the way back. But you can do it, girl.
Wait.
You can do it.
Let's keep the story on you for right now.
Okay,
right?
what do you want me to say?
Tell people why you couldn't do it. And she's a very fit person, by the way.
Why I lost feeling in my hands. That's why I couldn't do it. And mind you, if you watch the video, when I missed the ring, I swung like 2 or 3 times.
That did not help at all.
So that was tough. But it's really, if you don't kick like you're on a swing, like you're done.
Don't do that. That's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So it was.
What does it feel like on your hands, by the way? Just so you know, because people haven't done this in a while. You haven't been to the playground in a minute, right?
It's this part of your hand.
Yeah.
That's the part that's just gonna. It's grip.
Describe it.
It's grip. It hurts. It hurts. It doesn't feel good. But the adrenaline, we're all gonna pump you up, and you're gonna do it. And we're gonna get multiple ladies to do it.
Wait. Last year, not a single person could do it. Not even the men. Now you're saying this year.
Maybe not all the way through, but I was the only woman that got
only counts all the way through. Don't do. halfway is an F in Asian math, all right? You know that.
So now you're our Asian daddy, and we gotta get it.
Yo, look at me. Jingle, what's wrong with my mic?
The room didn't like the Asian daddy, so it was like, cut it.
Check 1, 2. All
C's
right.
get degrees.
All right. She's like, oh, now you're Asian daddy? When did I stop being Asian daddy? What do you mean?
No, like being the father figure is so intense. And okay, we're gonna do it, guys. Someone's gonna do it.
Well,
okay? Someone's gonna.
Let me describe to you what it feels like on your hands. It's a metal ring. You're like, well, what's the big deal? But you take your body weight on one hand, and now all of your weight is transferred right here. And if you can see my hands are calloused where we're talking about. And that's what you're gonna feel. It's gonna feel like fire and ice at the same time. Like a George R.R. Martin story, fire and ice, okay? Now, it was Ihor, who is Ukrainian. You remember Ihor? Is Ihor, right? He's Ukrainian? Canadian, living in Canada now, I believe? Okay, great. Yeah. And so he's really fit. He's not Jody fit, but he's really fit. So we thought for sure he was gonna do it. And he goes, and we're all cheering him on. And you guys know who Mo Ismail is? Mo Ismail? He's like the viral guy on our videos. He's Egyptian, but he's hip-hop freestyle. And so Mo, in his enthusiasm, is like cheering him on. But the things that Mo says are unintentionally, intentionally super funny. So he's 2 rings from completing it. We're all going to go home. And Mo says, you go get that like you do those keynote decks. And that's when he laughed and fell immediately. He fell. And he tried to do it again. But here's the thing. When she says you have 1 shot, every try you do becomes harder because now your hands are busted, right? So
the next day, my entire back was so sore. Everything from it. I was like, how on 1 try is that possible? And I'm in good shape. I work out.
She's in good shape.
I work out.
Look
so
at
I was
Jody.
like, what the
She's
hell?
about to spit on you right now. Look at her.
Hey,
look at that.
Don't pit women against each other. We work together. Tell them what's up, Jody. Tell Asian Daddy what's up.
Hashtag. Are you on the same team? All right.
And take the boost. Get that push. That push, I think, was everything.
All right, I'll give you the boost. All right?
Okay.
So
Give me the push.
those of you who want to do it, it's a rite of passage. And she said, as many people did who went on that first group, and I don't see many. Who else was here?
Oh, my gosh, no way.
I was here for the first day, but not the second day.
Oh, you didn't go to second day? Okay. Peter?
Just us? You were there. Were you there?
That's another story. And we always do something that people usually get really mad at me for because it involves you moving your body. But there's a big metaphorical reason why we do it. I won't tell you now. It's our version of firewalking. Yeah, you know what I mean? You got to do it and figure out what you're made of. And you're a lot tougher than you think.
So Tony Robbins has the hot coals. You have the rings.
We have the rings. All
Like
right?
it.
So I tell you about that so you can physically, and I think I don't know what's going on. We did the test. Don't stand right in front of it, and we'll be fine. Okay. I tell you that so you mentally and physically prepare for this. So tomorrow, those of you that are going to do this with us, bring a change of clothes, some athletic shoes, and I'm going to introduce a new concept to you. It's called a walk shop. And somebody, I forget who told me about this, but they're what's that? Blair Enns? Blair Enns told us about, there's a gentleman who runs walk shops. Have you been on one? Are you the leader of it? You're nodding like you've been there. No? You just like, you know Blair. Okay, yes, great. Okay, so Blair was telling about a guy who does these things, and it's really cool. So he goes on these walking tours with small groups, and sometimes the trails are 1 by 1, meaning single file, 2 by 2s, and 3 by 3s. And depending on your pace and what you want to do, conversations you have with people are wonderful. Now, I didn't know we did a walk shop last time, but we did, because everybody walks at a different pace. So the slow people walk together, the fast people walk in front. Like, we're trying to keep everybody together, and it's a little hard to do. Luckily, it's a straight line. It's hard, you know, to get lost.
We should get those little ropes they have for the preschoolers, so they all hold on.
We'll know. We'll know. You can almost tell who's going to be at the front. But this is really cool because the conversations that you can have, it's walking. We're not running, so don't worry about that. You get to really build a relationship. So the cool thing for me as a person who's antisocial was at the end of the walk shop, people really got to become really good friends. And what they told me was, no offense, Chris, we love the way you teach, but it's about the connection with the people. I was hurt a little bit. An internal tear wept inside my body, right? But I realized the point of today and the reason why I'm telling you this story is because this is an opportunity for you to connect with people. And that's what I want to do. I want to facilitate that happening even for the super shy ones. So tomorrow's thing is really an extension of that put into physical form. So I know some of you may not want to walk, might not want to be out there in the hot, sweaty sun and mess up the complexion. I get it. Wear a hat, wear sunblock. It'll be okay. It's one day. It's one day. And try. Now, if you're not a Futur Pro person, you're not invited. However, if you would like to join us, meet us at the beach. It's a public beach. I can't stop you. Okay? Now, she told me, oh, my body, it's hurting. I'm not sure I could do it. And they're like, you were the chosen one, the one to restore order in the force. But then when I went to pick up my friend Jody this morning, I'm like, never mind. You're not the chosen one anymore. Jody, who's not officially a pro member, will have to be a ringer for the team. She will go last. After all the women and potentially all the men fail, she would definitely not go first. Because it's funny when all these tourists and the locals look at a bunch of designer creative people try to do physical things. It's a sight to see. And you never know. It might be on the next Future Reel. Who knows? You eating dirt out there. You never know. Okay, we've only had one bad accident before. And I kid you not, we've only had one bad accident. One of my young interns from, where was he from Europe? I think he was French or Swedish. I can't remember what he was. But we did this rope climb. And, you know, he was a macho guy. He's like, I'm not going to let the Asian daddy show me up. We climb up the rope. It's like a military rope on a pole. So we went up that rope, and he didn't figure out how to get down. So he slid all the way down. And it's like a jute rope. So when he slid down, I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. And when he showed us his hands, there's sheets of skin. And we're like, what'd you do, boy? And he was like, kind of like, I don't know. There's blood coming down his hands, sheets of skin. And we're like, we don't know what to do either. This is our normal workout, guys. So he went to the lifeguard station, and they bandaged him up, like with gauze. I'm like, my biggest concern was, how are you going to work for me? Don't you need your hands? You know what I mean? You're going to use your mouth on the Wacom tablet? Or what are we going to do here? You still need to work. So we won't do that. We're not doing the rope climb because you can actually get hurt. Except for those who want to do it with me, we'll do it. It's been years since I've done it, but we can do it. It's all there. It's Venice Beach. Muscle Beach is what we're going to do. Okay.
We did get some good examples, too, of people on the rings. Do you remember we kind of, because our group was so big and a couple of, like, regulars wanted to get on the rings.
Oh, the regulars are freaking ridiculous. They're acrobats. They're ridiculous. And the ones who are most impressive are the women. They're not super muscular, but they know how to fly. And I can't do that. They're, like, up in the air somewhere. It's like Spider-Man. It's awesome to see. Okay. Enough about that. Thank you very much. Melania. Melanie.
It's not my name.
It's Melanie. But Drigo loves to call her Melania. For whatever reason, you love to call her Melania. All right.
There's a reason. I got you.
Yes. Okay. So Jody's here as the ringer, and Jody is here from New York City, but really from the UK. But she's a digital nomad, and if you've listened to some of our more recent podcasts, she's a regular. And we've been doing some LinkedIn Lives together, so that's the face to the name and the muscle to the face. You guys got that? Now, she said she was going to do a body press or deadlift or dead squat with me. Hell yeah. We're not going to do that. Hey. What? Who said it was going to be really cool? You think that was going to be really cool? Why don't she do deadlift you? You want her to do it with you? I think blonde on blonde is hot. I'm going to start an OF page. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. Ari, where do you come in from? Chicago. Okay. Windy City? Was it windy when you left? Or is it always windy? I've been to Chicago. It is pretty freaking windy. It's always windy. Okay. Elton, you're out from the East Coast. Where are you from? Raleigh. So Elton is a remarkable person for a lot of different reasons, but he's one of the few African-American event organizers where I've spoken at, and we talk about representation. I think it's a wonderful thing he's doing for his community, trying to lift up a community that sometimes is met with more than just the challenges that we all see, but additional challenges. So he made the trip out here. So Elton, okay. Okay, who else is from a different city before we leave the country? Different city. Tim? Seattle. Tim's a maniac. He drove down. I know. With his wife, because, you know, he's crazy. That's why. For fun. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I won't do it, but yeah, I don't want to drive to Northern California. Forget about leaving the state, a couple of states over. Okay, who else? Okay. We already covered city. I meant state. My bad. You missed that one, Eric. Okay, you missed it. Yeah, for Sacramento. So NorCal, the north is of NorCal almost. You got to represent. Okay. You gonna throw signs? You gonna throw signs? You know what happens when you talk to a bunch of nerdy creative people? You're going to throw some gang signs like NorCal. I don't even know what it is. No, we're not in China. Okay, who else? Vegas. Vegas. Peter's pretty cool. Peter's cool in a different way, but Peter's pretty cool because almost every time we have an event here, he also gets in a car, usually with his wife, and heads over. He's almost here for everything. So every time I turn around at an event, Peter's here. So Peter's like Mr. Consistent. He's like the Energizer Bunny. Never fails. Never fails. Okay. Carlos, Miami. So is that technically the farthest in the country? It's pretty far. It's like the opposite, it's pretty down there. Yeah. Okay. It is always hot and humid in Miami, isn't it? Almost always. There's only 3 days when it's not. And then it's hurricane season, I think. That's why it's not. Yeah. Yeah. I've been there. Okay. And Carlos sent me a message. Carlos and I have done workshops. We've done one in Miami. We've done one in L.A. Where else have we done one? Is that it? Yeah, and he and his brother, the Garcia Bros. I'm part of the Garcia Bros. Because we have a thread on Facebook. It's called Dogar. Dogar? Yeah, his brother created it. And his brother is a world-famous accountant. He's probably the most followed person for accounting. His name is Hector. And forgive me always because I scrambled their names together in my brain. I don't know why. I'm just not good like that. But Carlos sent me a message and said, hey, I might be able to come. I'm on the plane. I love that. Spontaneity, right? Okay, different state. Indianapolis? What is your name? Yunji, okay. Indianapolis. I don't even know where that is. It's middle-ish, right? Yeah, I know where that is, but geographically, Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks for making the trek here. Who else? Different state. Are we done with states? Okay. Now we're getting interesting. Different. Okay. Let's say North America. Where are my other North Americans, our northern neighbors? Leo, Toronto. That's pretty far. How many hours? Okay, not as far as Miami. Not as far, but pretty far. Who else is from Canada? Anybody else? Going once, twice? South America? No? Usually, for some reason, not a lot of South Americans here. We need to change that. Okay. Let's go to Europe. I know there's one person here from Europe. Anneli Hansen, my Swedish friend, is here. Also a last-minute person. She's like, I'm seeing the pics, getting a lot of FOMO. I booked a flight. I'm like, what? What are you doing? I just posted that story. She goes, I got a flight. I'm going. I'm going to crash with my homies, and you're here with a bunch of girls. Yeah? And she got in literally last night around 9-ish. Yeah. And here's something remarkable about Anneli. She has traveled very lightly when she was a child, but as an adult, almost not at all. So here's the crazy thing. She's a crazy person. So a couple years ago, she's like, why don't you come to Europe? I'll help you organize the tour. And in my mind at that time, I'm like, it's a lot of work. She goes, I'll help you plan. When she met us in London, she hadn't flown in forever. 15 years. And there's a reason why, because she's afraid of flying. So we're talking about in a matter of years now, she's booking flights and going wherever. She's been with us on a fishing trip with Tim to Vancouver, gutted a fish, had blood on her face and her hands. She's a remarkable lady. So again, if those of you who are foolish enough to answer the call of adventure when I ask you, you're in store for some crazy things. That's all I can say. Yeah. And hopefully you discover something about yourself that you didn't know before. Okay, where else in Europe? Anybody else? Okay, of course, Michelle. Where from? Netherlands. If you say that loud enough, we can hear the accent in him. Where from again? I love the Dutch accent. I really do. Well, because you're switching it up on me. Yeah. But right now, when you said the Netherlands, there was like a little pride, like Dutch pride that came out, you know. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Dutch are very good at kickboxing. They're world famous for it. Almost all the best kickboxers come from the Netherlands for some reason. Are you a kickboxer? Do you fight? Okay. That's all I need to know. So if there's trouble, Michelle and Rodrigo's got my back, right? And Jody. We will never forget Jody. She'll headlock you, and we're done. Okay, where else in Europe? Okay, all the way in the back. Italy. All right, wow, Italy. Now, did you just happen to be in town, or did you fly out for this? You flew out just for this? Wow. All right, woo! I can't read your name tag from here. What is your name again? Lorenz? Very Italian, you know, very... Lorenzo. See, he could, when he said that, the hand had to come out. Lorenzo. Is it true Italians speak a lot with their hands? Why? It's beautiful. He had to do it with the hands. You guys can't see it, but I'm seeing it. Okay, let's keep moving around the room here. Any other European country? Poland. Wow. I've been to Poland a couple times. Have we seen each other in Poland before? You seem like you're mad at me when you said that. I traveled to your country, and you ain't got time for me.
Yeah, why did you give up?
I don't know. I announce it as much as I can. I've been to Poland now 3 times. I didn't feel the genuine invitation there. It was a very staccato delivery. You should visit never. I mean more. Yes. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, Poland.
Chris, we have Greece and London saying what's up from YouTube.
Hey, Greece and London. Yeah, I'm glad you made the trip all the way from the internets. I know that was hard for you to click that button. Wonderful, welcome. Okay, where else we got? European. Any other Europeans? London. Of course, London. Why do I think you're in America with just a British accent? Yes, you do. Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm ready to lose my voice. It's only hour 1. Okay, where else are we? Any other place? Okay. What? Oh, no, I know. I'm getting there. Just Europe. Okay. You traveled a long way. South Africa? That is nuts. It was a really long trip. I've seen you many times. At Adobe Max, maybe? No. Where have I seen you? In a workshop? Euro tour? Yeah? Yeah, Barcelona. You got to say it the right way. Okay, go on. That's it? Oh, wow. You got the face like I've seen you too many places. Yeah, okay, yes, of course there. Yes, okay. That's amazing. You know, South Africa is on my bucket list. And we may make it happen next year with the help of Mark Pollard. So you guys know who Mark Pollard is? He wrote this book, Your Words Are Your Strategy. He travels all over the place and organizes workshops. So he's like, let's do India. And India is on that list. And I said, please, India, Africa, and South Africa. So internets, we're working on it. I'm always trying to work on it, okay? All right, South Africa. Now Asia, there's 2 people here, I think, from Singapore, right? Is it 2 or just 1? Say your name for me one more time. Vicario. So I was telling Drago Vicario's coming. And he's like, who? He's like, remember the guy from Game of Thrones, Vicario? Doesn't it sound like the dragon should breathe fire on you? Yeah, I love that. Was there another Singaporean or is it just you? I thought there was one more person. But he didn't come. He's dead to me. Tell him he's dead to me. I was just really disappointed. I thought there were 2. Okay, any other parts that we missed? Somewhere far away. Anybody else? All right. So it's a broad coalition of people from, you know, all as far away as Orange County to South Africa to Singapore. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And I was having a conversation with my buddy Matt. with my buddy Matt about the value building brand. And brand is used in so many different ways inappropriately, but I just look at it, it's like, what is the stickiness of your community? You know, how are they willing to show up for you if you show up for them? And I think this is just wonderful. We had an event, and it was a panel discussion sponsored by Bloom. So it was Paul and Jamie Brindle. You guys know who Jamie Brindle is? He does a lot of pricing stuff. You guys know Jamie Brindle. He does the talks to himself all the time, professionally. I mean, not crazy. And it was a panel, and there were 2 women who flew in from New York. I don't think she was there for me, but she was there for the thing. And it was the nighttime, and it was a panel thing. And then later on, I discovered while talking to them, they had flown in from New York, and they're taking the red eye back. They're doing a 1-day trip for a panel. I'm like, y'all crazy. One of them convinced the other one, we got to go do this. And I was just like, for a panel? Like, we're doing 3 days, right? So we're going to try to make your flight worth something. All right. So let's just do a quick poll so everybody knows who's in the room here. How many of you guys self-identify as a creative human being? Okay, then it's like, who doesn't identify as a creative human being? What do you do? Wait, let me get you the mic. Oh, by the way, all this is being filmed and live streamed. So I forgot. I was housekeeping part 1. I forgot about that. Here you go. Yeah. Social Security and bank account number?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So no,
Adam, do we know each other?
Yeah.
How do we know each other?
I've been in the pro group for 4 years.
Oh. Like, Adam, I know we've talked. Yeah, I've seen your face before. I'm terrible, guys.
Absolutely.
You know how they say I'm not good with names? I'm not good with faces. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have to do something weird and remarkable, and then I'll never forget you. Not the second.
Okay, got it. Okay.
I saw that look on your face, like, now, bro? Like a backflip or something.
I wish.
You know what you do? You complete the rings. I'll never forget you.
I'll do my best. No, I'm actually really excited for that.
There's no best. It's just you'll do it.
Okay.
I tell you what. Are you in a relationship?
I'm married, yes.
Do you have kids?
Yes, 2.
Okay.
8 and 4.
Now, when we go tomorrow, pretend if you don't make it, they'd perish. You see what I'm saying? You'll make it. You'll make it.
We'll see. My fitness goal is to be able to do flag pulls. I'm not getting there this year, but I'm trying.
5 pull-ups?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you at now?
Not there. I felt like I almost ripped out like my shoulder when I last tried. I was like, this is horrible.
That's not big of an exaggeration.
I know, but I have a goal though. I'm gonna hit
I have a trainer.
Yeah.
Talk to Guns over here.
Yeah.
Joe just looking for an excuse to like show her muscles. Don't egg her on here. Okay. All right. I forgot what we're talking about now.
Creative people. Creative.
Oh, you're not a creative person?
No, I suck at drawing. I can't do musical instruments. I am not in that creative mode mindset. I'm a technical person.
And also mysterious. What do you mean, technical person?
I started more in IT. I did broadcast production, so I can kind of do video-ish. I just pay people to do that better than me now.
Okay.
So when it's like, oh yeah, come to a creative event, it's like, yeah, I love these people.
Really? No.
Oh. The ones that deliver things on time, yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Which are none.
Yeah.
Okay. So what brought you to this world? Not
my parents.
in the world.
That's
Well, it was a cold night. It was a cold night in October.
Yeah, so I never had run an agency, so I found your videos 4 or 5 years ago, and it's helped me build my agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
So business.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Do you feel like you're an outsider here?
Ooh, that's a good question. At times, yes, but not
No, like
really.
literally right now.
What's that?
Literally right now, when 99.9% of the people are creative in this room, do you feel like an outsider?
No, not at all.
Good. Because you're welcome here.
Yeah.
You are. Do you feel that from me? Even though I don't recognize you after 4 years?
Yeah. No, this has been a part of my business journey. It's double, quadrupled all of my earnings over the last several years, which that sounds really good.
Amazing.
We were just really poor. We were really poor.
Adam, the secret to being creative is stopping where the story is interesting. It quadrupled my business. Don't say no more. You're like, but year one, I made $5, you guys, so, we're doing pretty good. I can buy lunch now.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Drigo, can I get a little bit more volume? Because if I can't hear myself, I speak loud. Oh, okay, not that loud, obviously. dial it back a little bit. So, no, okay, never mind. Go back to what I said. Is it me or is it him? Oh, it's him. It's never me. Okay, all right, yeah. So when I'm back, give me more volume because I'm going to strain to speak here, and I don't want to do that. It's almost glued to my lip right now. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. Okay, all right. So, there's this thing in Marty Neumeier's book. Of course, we're not going to have a conversation if I don't mention Seth Godin, Marty Neumeier, or Blair Enns. It's just not going to happen. So let's get one out of the way, okay? I think it's in the brand gap where Marty says, if you want to innovate, you got to design. It requires design, okay? And here's a Brian Collins quote for you. And I love this. He says, designers are futurists. We rehearse in our mind or on paper possible futures, and we pick the best possible outcome. I love that. Like when you're designing a logo, you're like, that sucks, that might make it. That could withstand the tests of time. And we pick that. If you design a website, it's like, this might break, this one won't break as much. And you pick that path. So you pick the most optimal path for the future. And so back to Mr. Martin Neumeier, I think it's in the brand gap, where he uses Herbert Simon's definition of what design is. Do you guys know that definition? And Herbert Simon, the Nobel laureate, defines design as one who devises courses of action to go from an existing condition to an improved one. I believe you're a designer, Adam. Don't you go from an existing condition or situation to an improved one? So I love this because it's a broad and yet inclusive but specific enough definition where if you desire to make the world a little bit better in whatever it is that you do, you are a designer. Maybe not a creative, but a designer for sure. So we devise courses of action to improve from an existing situation to a better one. That's it, right? So this is a community of designers. Whether your title says it or not, whether people refer you to as or not, as long as you try to make the world a little bit better. Okay, now let's get into, that was a long-ass way to like dealing with housekeeping stuff. We're here, we're getting to know each other. I'm not so good at helping people to get to know each other because usually, if you saw me yesterday, I was just standing in the corner by myself. And as soon as there's nobody else to talk to, I put my drink down and left. And my drink meaning water. That's what I did, right? So despite that, I will do my best to help you to get to know each other in the time that we have together. There's 3 days. It's pretty loose, all 3 days. It's me, you, conversation, and a good spirit, and a generous heart, and paper and markers, and we do that. I arbitrarily decided because people were getting really anxious, like, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, well, I don't know, whatever you want to talk about. So I decided, like, let's talk about media and content creation. It's at least one thread of connective tissue between me and all of you, in theory, unless a friend dragged you here and told you you needed to be here. And so we live in a time which is both challenging and beautiful in that we all have the opportunity to create our own media, create our own hype, and basically create our own fame. And nowhere else in time was this possible, where we had this much power. And it was going pretty well for a little while, and then this thing called AI comes in. And I'm a big AI optimist, but I'm also seeing a lot of the negative sides of AI. And I want to address the elephant in the room, okay, right up front. And here it is that AI should be a tool to enhance your creativity, to boost your intellect, and to do the menial labor for you. But unfortunately, many people are using AI to do the intellectual thinking, the creativity, and then they take on the role of production, which is really bizarre to me. We've already now voluntarily enrolled in a program where we become human slaves to an AI master, which is really bizarre. And so I'm not here to cast judgment. If this is what you do and it's working for you, keep doing it. My challenge with that is when you meet people in the real world and they ask you questions about the things you did not write about or say, how will you respond? Because I don't know about you, but if you're lazy enough to use AI to do all your thinking, it's probably because you're not really that much of a thinker too. And so when somebody writes your book report, do you know what it says? That's the real challenge. So I am a big proponent for AI in all things, generative and all. But as a way to enhance human creativity and to allow you to be the most productive, creative person that you can be. The challenge we see in social right now is using AI bots to answer questions and comments in a way that fakes engagement. I find that to be really distasteful. We see it as mining other people's content and then roughly using your voice, but it's super generic. extremely formulaic, and there are telltale signs when you read a post or when you listen to something. You can feel it, and the one thing, as far as I know right now, and probably for the foreseeable future, probably in my lifetime, what AI cannot do is replace this. That's when somebody peels off their flesh and it's like, no, demerzel, and then puts it back, you know? But when I say they can't replace this, I want to get more specific because they're like, oh, well, it's pretty generic, Chris. What do we do with that? I mean that the fact that we're sharing the same air, the same energy, and we're sharing a lot of that air because it's really hot in here, and that we're messy, we're imperfect, we're human. And to be able to express and champion that, we come to things like this, right? So even for the people who are just watching online, they know this is a real conversation because we don't know what's going to happen next. And so I think there's why, anecdotally speaking, there's a rise in people wanting to go to concerts, to events and workshops and meetups and masterminds, because they get to talk and react and interact with real humans. And that's all I really want to do. The biggest agenda for today is for us to behave in the most human way possible and to be able to feel safe enough and confident enough to speak our mind, to agree and to disagree in ways that don't trample all over other people's ideas, right? We try our best to do yes ands here. Carlos is big into, what is that called? Improv. He's really into improv. So if we ever need help, Carlos will come in and he'll throw, or he'll pitch an inning for us, okay? So with that said, I'd love for us to, roughly for right now, until you all tell me otherwise, let's talk about how we can be better, effective versions of ourselves as we try to translate that into different mediums. That's all. So the core of this requires you to have something of substance, because there's no point in boosting nothing. It's like air blowing air. It's just air and more air. And so if you feel like I have nothing to say, we have to ask ourselves, is it because you have nothing to say and you need to do that work, or is it because there's an internal belief that prevents you from saying that? And those parts I want to work on with you. Or perhaps there are tactics I can help you with so that more people can learn about your story and who can receive the help that you are able to give them, so that we lessen their suffering and increase their wins. Even if it's going from $5 to $200 or whatever it is for Adam. We'll try that. And I think about this. If anybody says to me, what is the secret to growing on social media? It comes down to one thing. The best teachers win in all platforms. As far as I can tell, almost everybody I follow, respect and admire, they're the best teachers. And they found a way to teach in their style, in the way that works for them. Not to do it some other way. So we all have examples of what the best teachers were. Usually in university or college, there's a professor, right? It's very academic. They lecture at you. You're sitting in a darkened auditorium, and you pretty much zone out. And that's what universities consider the best teachers, people who regurgitate information. But then, if you think about this, and I'd love for everybody to do this intellectual exercise with me, okay? Trace back into your mind, into time, go back as far as you need to, and think of one or two teachers who changed your life. And try to find that, like, what was their name? What grade were you in? What was the class? What did they do? How did they do it to make you feel seen, heard, or helped you to understand something? And it could just be somebody who took you in after class and said, you know what, you're feeling awkward, but I think you have a different way of learning, and let me help you with that, and then that's your breakthrough. Or somebody who designs an experiment that you see, and it's the first time you fall in love with physics, or an instructor is like, who gives you a set of tools, and all of a sudden you're an artist now. I want you to think about that, okay? And I'll just give you a second to ponder what that might look like, and try to describe it to yourself in as many ways as you can. What did they do? How did they do it? What was their tone? What was the delivery? Because there's something in life that was given to us to be a lesson that we can take, but we didn't take the gift that it was. We just left it there. So I think back to some of the teachers that I've had that have changed my life, probably 6 or 7, maybe more, and I draw on those lessons every day, because when I do something, I think I'm honoring them, and I'm carrying those ideas forward into the next generation, and then we improve as a society. So I believe if you're not doing well in social, if you're confused as what you need to do, it's mostly because you haven't been looking at it from the lens of how can I teach people. And secondly, how can I teach people in ways that have touched me, not just the way that I've seen others do? And that's a trap we all fall into. Chances are, if you're on social and your content is just hitting a wall, it's because I think you're out there promoting products, services, buy my logo, buy this branding, buy my IT services, buy this. And that's called an advertisement. And there's nothing wrong with advertising, but it's not content. And the way advertising works is you pay people to pay attention. Whereas if you teach people, they'll pay you to pay attention. It's a big difference. Okay? So I'm going to give you guys a second, all right, to think about it, because then I want to talk about it, okay? I'm just take off my jacket. Okay. The mic has a problem because of the way the speakers are oriented. So if you're right in front of it, just move away from it and we can hear you. All right? Who are some of your best, most influential, impactful teachers? Does somebody have one they want to share? All right, Tim, we'll go with you first. Let me get you the mic.
So my teacher, her name was Miss Rama.
Miss Rama?
Yeah, 4th grade. So it goes all the way back. I'm an immigrant, and so I was about 4 years into being in the United States. And so I was like really struggling with like assimilating and like learning the culture, learning the language. And because I was so young, I picked up the language pretty quickly. But I was still struggling to kind of like really integrate. And so she was the one that kind of like really encouraged me to read. And as I read more, she like encouraged me to read more and more and more, like more books. And she was the one that like I think birthed my love of reading. And so as a result of her, I've read a lot over the years, to the point where like in the 8th grade, I won like a contest of having read the most books for the year out of my entire grade class. And so she really encouraged me, and like through reading, we would like talk about the books that I was reading, and like she would help me like learn like the American culture and like what like learn how to like navigate in the world. And so I think like me being able to be like an American and like be a reader was like due to her, because she like really poured into me in that sense.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that, Tim. Shout out to her. What's her name again?
Miss Rama.
Miss Raman?
Rama.
Rama, R-A-M-A?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beautiful. If you could distill or pull away 1 or 2 lessons about what she did that was so good, could you put that into words for us? And I'll write it up on the board. What do great teachers do?
I think the first thing is like she highlighted potential, like the potential that I had.
How'd you do that? Like, I want you to think of this as you had the world's most amazing pie, a slice of pie.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is so good. I need you to figure out the ingredients so that you can have a shot at making award-winning pie.
Yeah.
So if you're like, it was just great, it was good, that doesn't help us. So how did she help see potential?
I was a quiet kid, so I was really reserved. And I think up to that point, I was overlooked, like where I was just quiet and I did my work. And so I think the first thing is like she engaged with me, just to like have conversations.
That's perfect. Let's pause right there. So great teachers know how to get engagement. So they're not just talking above you or at you, they're pulling you into the conversation, right?
Correct.
Let's just put that there, okay? Because I know that when you go to make content, you can ask yourself, how am I engaging the audience right now? Or am I committing the sins of all the other teachers who don't seem or appear to care?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to drive engagement in a classroom, what would you do? Channel your best, Ms. Rama.
If I was trying to get engagement.
Yeah, like you're in class right now. What would you do to get this group to engage?
Call out people like personally, like whoever's there.
Okay, call people out? That sounds so violent.
No, not like call them out. Like I'm saying like
I know what you mean.
Like connect with them. Like
Pull
talk
people
to them.
in.
Talk to the people that are there.
All right, somebody, don't get all woo with me. See them, see them.
So it sounds like she was able to it sounds like she was able to, one, see that you wanted to learn, but maybe you didn't have the tools. So she saw the gap, and she filled the gap with her, you know what I mean? She came to you. She reached where you were on your journey. She didn't say, hey, come here, which I think a lot of teachers do that. They make things overly complicated. They do things in theory, right? And what you said in your story sounded like she gave you direct application, direct steps. Go read these books.
Yeah.
Go do this thing. So she gave you something to do. Take it away, Tim. See them. I just think you're talking about connection and being, we all want to be seen and validated.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So what would you do?
I think like you would see who's there
Yes.
and like talk to them.
Okay.
And
Now, how
like,
could you do that on social media?
If we're talking about social media, like,
Well, now
right-
we are.
Yeah, like a lot of times I feel like there's people that are like following you or liking your content or maybe even leaving a comment, and like I see a lot of people like where comments are left and people just like do a little heart or thing where, but that's like a moment
Okay.
moment that you can engage with them.
Yeah.
Say
So-
something back. Open a conversation even. Maybe
Hey, we're getting to something now. Instead of calling people out, we're going to open a conversation.
yeah.
I like that. Oh, is that good?
Call them in.
Open a conversation. This is perfect. Open a convo. And how do you open a convo, Tim?
So like if somebody left a comment, right? It could be generic as like you wrote content and like this is great, and you can like ask them what they liked about it, what was great about it,
What is that called?
asking a question.
Yes, thank you. You just ask a question. So whenever you make a piece of content, try to ask a question or two.
Yeah.
In written form or as you present on video, ask a question. That's a great way to get engagement from people. And then the second part, which you already said, is respond to the answers.
Yes.
That makes sense. That sounds like a conversation to me instead of just talking at people. And this seems so basic. It's so obvious that no one's doing it. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So we're going to open a conversation and we're going to respond. Because then what does that do? Well, it reminds me that when I respond, you'll engage with me. And it creates this great loop. It's perfect, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then the next thing that Melanie said is give them clear steps,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So she said, do this. And so sometimes we have great content, but we're not giving people things to do. So people do like that. So there's a rough ratio here. It's about 9/10 making me feel something, 1/10 tell me what to do. So when your content is 10/10, tell me what to do. It's too much. I can't do that, right?
It's a waterfall.
It's just too much. So if you do 10 slides on a carousel, one of the 10 slides, usually slide number 9, tell me what to do. First buy this, then do that, and then da. And so it works there. So we'll just say tactics. Give me some tactics, some step by step. And the simpler you can describe this, the better. Step by step. Make sense, everybody? Okay, now here's what I want to do is I want you all to reflect on the last piece of content you put out there. I don't care how old it is. I don't care what format. Review it in your mind. You see your piece of content in your mind? Yeah? Did you open a conversation? Not if you open a conversation. I'm not seeing a lot of nods, which is good. Okay, so now you know what to do. Yeah, you did, right? Okay, Tim, can you hand the mic over to her? Is it Carol, right?
Yes.
Carol, how did you open the conversation?
In my post, I opened it up. My first line was, I get asked, and I wrote the question, what is different about your organization, 50/50 Women on Boards, compared to other similar organizations? And then I went into
Perfect.
my perspective.
So you just asked for the makeup of the genders? Is that right? Of an organization?
No, it was people. It was phrased where people are always asking me the question, and that's the question they ask me.
Oh,
And so
you get
I'm
asked this question
answering-
all the time.
Correct, and I was answering it to basically share my perspective as to what is the differentiating thing about our organization versus others. Yeah.
Okay. Did you get a lot of responses?
A lot of responses saying on point about like how I viewed the differentiating value, but not like
I see.
questions. Yeah.
So they were double clicking on you, or like you're spot on.
Yes, because
Okay.
they're probably also getting the same, they're being
Okay.
asked the same questions.
Okay, so what could you do if you had to redo that post, which you can, by the way, and there's no law against reposting your post, and you were to make an edit so that you asked them that question? Well, how could you rephrase that?
Probably curious to know what makes our organization different, or something like that.
Would you say our, or you would say, ask me that question?
Are you curious as to what makes 50/50 Women on Boards Bay Area different from the rest?
Okay, that's a binary question.
Okay.
I can just say yes or no. It's a pretty short conversation. So generally speaking, when we open conversations, we don't want to ask, have you had lunch? What's your favorite food in the world? Opens a conversation. What are you most excited about doing this weekend? That's an open conversation. Right? That's kind of where you want to go. If you want to try this as an experiment, as an A/B, so you have your control, which is what you've already posted, try to ask your audience a question.
What are you doing on October 8th in San Francisco?
Wait, say it one more time?
Is a question something like, what are you doing on October 8th in San Francisco? Something like that.
That feels like a sales pitch is coming. I don't know why.
Well,
Carol,
this is
tell
why-
me.
this is
Lie
why
to
I'm
me,
here.
baby. What?
This is why I'm here, to learn.
Okay, well, don't sell me something on the open question. We're very good at detecting sales now.
Yes.
I mean, literally, people are Chris, like, no.
Yeah.
I already know. I already know. I can smell it a mile away. So you want to repel people or you want to compel people?
No, compel for sure.
Okay, because here's what I'm going to say. Marketing repels. Having conversation with people compels. You have to put away the agenda that you need to sell something. It's going to be hard for a lot of you because you're like, but I got bills to pay. Bruh. Pay those bills. Don't use your content for that. Or be clear, this is to sell you, and then this is to do content. We need to segment those two things because when those waters intermingle, it has an air of like hidden agendas. So I like open agendas. Like, I'm here to sell you something. By the way, I'm here to sell you something, guys. Talk to me. All right, so much for that
Like
chair.
chore.
Trico's like, sit in the chair. It'll be fine, Chris. I'm like, it's going to break. It's, just sit in it. It's fine. It was already 1/4 there. But this makes a designer t-shirt. This is pretty cool. We'll save this fabric for later. All right. Are you here to buy me one? Yeah, it's a donate chair for Chris fund. Okay, so we got to strip away. See, so like how we're so trained, like our conversation is about us, and even the way you phrase it is about me again. Like, aren't you curious about how I do things? It's like, no. I'm curious about how you do things. What makes your organization different? Where do you, and make the question a little bit more specific than that, and you get much, much richer answers. So the general way that we ask questions is, if we ask a question that's too broad, it can hit all spots on the wall. And that might not be what you want to talk about. It could open it all up, but it's all over the place. What I would like to do is for you to ask the question, just paint a target so people know what to shoot at. And there's lots of right answers, only a few wrong ones out here, but there's a big zone for you to hit. So you could ask, like, what percentage does your organization in resources dedicate to innovation or research and development? Because that can say a lot about your company. And that's the question. And then you can just follow up with interesting stories. So that says, like, I'm not asking you about sales. I'm not asking you about human resources. I'm not asking you about all these other things, hierarchy and structure. I'm just really asking you about R&D. And then can you give me some examples of what you do that is different than every other company in your space? The dialogue that comes out could be really rich. You know, people will ask all the time, how do you keep having more ideas? Because I feel like I'm out of ideas. It's because they're not opening a conversation and they're not responding to the answers they get from those non-questions that are not asking. So if you were to ask this question about innovation, for example, you'd get all these responses. Some you know, some are like, no way, and some are like, wow, I never thought of it that way. That's where you make more content, and then the process begins it again over and over. So it never ends. Then you're in a virtuous loop of content. And you know what's happening? You're automatically attracting the right kind of people and community to come find you as the person who brings or creates space for this conversation to happen. That's all we're trying to do. Thank you, Rodrigo. You follow? Okay. Who else can think back on a piece of content they created where they had a question and they opened some dialogue? There weren't a lot of nods, so it's not a lot of people in the room. I won't break this one, I know. That's Rocio back there?
Yeah.
We have 2 Rocios here today.
Oh.
It's weird. Never before.
Okay, so my last post was about my Silver Jubilee, 25 years of marriage, and how that I see that as the most underrated business flex. So, to be honest, based on the gift cards that I'm still getting, and this was only about a week ago, almost a week ago, I think it resonated with a lot of people, and I wasn't expecting that.
So people are sending you gift cards?
They're sending gift cards to my business address.
What kind of dollar amount are we talking about here?
Some nice ones.
Don't tease me, girl.
$50, $100.
Really?
Yeah. Really?
Oh, I got to talk about my Silver Jubilee. Damn. 25? What's the next one? What's after Silver Jubilee?
50 years.
Oh, my God. I'll be in the grave at that point. Okay. All right. So did you ask a question in your conversation?
What are your biggest business flex that you don't tell anyone about?
That's a perfect open prompt. That's a really good one. Did you guys hear that? I don't know why she didn't tell us that. I had to squeeze it out of her or something.
But that's how I ended the post. That was at
That's
the
fine.
very end.
That's fine, too.
Oh,
The
okay.
question, it doesn't matter where it is. It just needs to be in there somewhere. Oftentimes, the CTA is a question. Instead of saying, buy my product, sign up for my program, ask them a question.
Yeah.
You can say, this year, my partner and I celebrated our 25th year Jubilee. And I think that's a business flex that not a lot of people talk about. And let me tell you why. And then at the end of it, you're like, what's your business flex that you don't tell anybody about? I get to spend 2 hours reading to my kid. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying somebody could write that. And you're like, wonderful. That becomes another post. See how this works? If you just ask in a very open and generous spirit, people will respond. Because they're like, she's not selling me nothing. And she's right. So here's the other thing. If you write about a post, or you write a post that gets me to think about something in a different way, those are usually winners. If you say something that everybody's already thinking, they might get some likes, but it's not really highly engaging. We already think about that all the time. There's this thing, it's called the TBU. You know what a TBU is?
No.
Does anybody know? Okay, a TBU is something that's true but kind of useless. You don't want to do that kind of content. Like freedom. Yeah, I know. We want freedom, don't we? So what? So here's the good news for all of you. The amount of information that's available is crazy, especially now with all the AI, right? Information is very cheap these days, and it's very noisy. You know what isn't? Is your POV. What is your point of view on this thing that everybody talks about? So there's a very easy way to figure out your point of view, okay? How do you disagree with this? That's it. What do you disagree about with what everyone is saying? So if y'all want to figure out a list of things to do for content, all you have to do is make a long list of what everyone in your space or industry says all the time. That's true but useless. They're cliche at this point. And find one where you disagree and write about that. And it doesn't have to be 180 degree. It could just be a nuance. Like, here's what most people miss about this. It's this one thing that no one tells you. So a 1 degree difference is still a difference. It doesn't have to be 180. It doesn't have to be the opposite. You can just do literally 1% different. And the 1% different could just be you writing it in your own voice. Like, you know how some people speak in Spanglish? Right? You can write your post in that if you want. And even though everyone has said exactly the same thing, no one has said it that way. You follow me? Or if you write in iambic pentameter, do that way. Or if you're very conversational, you know who I think is one of the more popular people who writes in a conversational tone is Mr. Hormozy. You ever read his posts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's like, right? Am I crazy? Like, really? You know, like, read his book. It's almost as if he was dictating it to himself or telling a story to a friend. And even the way that he writes it and presents the graphics, it looks like a children's book because he wants to make it feel friendly. So he's quite masterful at that. And someone who's much, much better than Alex Hormozy that you might not have heard of, her name is Kendra Hall. Read her book, Stories That Stick. Kendra Hall. She's a professional friend of mine. Stories That Stick. Okay? Read that book, and the entire book, top to bottom, feels like you and her are just having coffee, and she's telling you these things that are going to help you. Very conversational. Not easy to do. Because there are two voices that we write with. Our head voice is what we learn how to do in school and English class, English literature. And then there's the way we talk to people. Write like the way you talk to people. So if you ever read my posts on LinkedIn, I do add those things in there. Like, I know, right? Crazy. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
So try that, okay?
Okay.
So there are lots of ways for you to inject your humanity into your work. So you can even do this. You can have, here's a process, okay? Here's a process. We'll call it the ugly first draft, the UFD, okay? And the rule is you write, you never stop to edit. I know for some of you it's going to drive you insane. It doesn't matter, just write. And if you don't like writing, talk. Talk to the machine. Have it transcribe everything you're saying, okay? Then you take your ugly first draft and you feed it to a GPT, and it will clean it up for you, right? So it'll spit out a product for you. It'll look like this, a doc. Don't publish that doc, please. Copy that doc, paste it into an editing program, yes, and rewrite that sucker. So what GPT and the AIs are really good at is formal structure. Opening thesis statements, supporting paragraphs and summaries. Remember, it's not this, it's that. It's very good at that. We as humans are terrible at that, so this ugly first draft could look like this. It's all over the place. It's like ADHD brain on steroids. And no one can make sense of that. But it's you. It's your ideas. It's your stories. It's your facts. You can say, rewrite this, structure it so it's cleaner, but don't change the details. Don't hallucinate. And you can tell it that. But clean it up for me. Make it punchier. Put it in my voice. Whatever it is, right? And you should know this. And then you take that version and you human that part. You go and add in your little quirky things. You delete the periods. You remove the all caps. You remove the emojis if you're not an emoji person. And then you can tell it, once you're done, you spit out a new document. This is now your version of it, okay? We'll just write you, okay? This is your version. And you can say, hey, compare these two. Make some notes about what's different and apply this moving forward. Do you understand? And it says, yes, you did this, you included that. It does this all the time. So over time, if it's a GPT project, it should remember this about you. And every time it does it, this used to be 70% you. And then over time, it starts to become like 89% you, and then it will never be you, but it's going to get a lot closer, which is really beautiful. This is how we're talking about using AI in a way that feels ethical, that doesn't strip you of your humanity, that still puts you in the driver's seat, and retains your ideas. But you know what people do? Just write me something. Copy, paste, post. That's what they do. And I'm pretty sure everybody in this room was guilty of something like that somewhere, because we tried it. We tried it just to see what it's like. I'm not here to shame anybody, but this is the way you should make content instead. Carlos.
I want to share a journey I've been on with content creation. So it's Labor Day, and I see an old picture of me, 13-year-old version of me, sitting in front of my caravan, my parents' caravan, back when I first moved to the States. And I remember my first hustle being about Labor Day, right? I had like a pressure cleaner and business, and basically over a weekend, I went to all the neighbors and I made a bunch of money, and it just inspired me to write about it. And so I made a post, and speaking of AI, I grabbed that picture and I ran it through Runway ML, and then I just like added a pressure washer, like cleaning the driveway. And then I just kind of went into story mode. There was no like call to action, I'm trying to sell you something type of thing. And to your point, Chris, earlier about what question did you ask, I said, what was your first entrepreneurship hustle. And I think Rocio, I think you shared your story and had a bunch of people just like go back to memory lane and emotionally connect with that. And I was like, ooh, there's something here. So that was kind of interesting. And that was just more of out of an impulse of just trying to do something different rather than going into my content calendar and look at my content pillars and like, educate, engage, whatever, right? Like, so I don't know what that means, Chris. But
How do you know that's how I write? Yeah, see, yeah. This is how you do pricing, see?
So I guess there's no question. I wanted to share that, but the question that I have from that is,
Thanks for the share.
what could you draw
Thanks for the
from there?
voice.
Yeah, what could you draw from there that would be helpful for us to be more like that?
Okay, great. Thanks for the share, Carlos. Let me ask you, what can you learn from that? What did you learn from it?
I think just like feeling something, like a memory or something that was true to me, and then being able to just stay in that moment, being like bored enough to not just like, because oftentimes we're like, we get an idea and we're easy to go to Google to research something or go to ChatGPT and like let it think for us. And instead, I just wanted to kind of go back to that moment, look at the picture, try to remember the specific things I did. What was the name of the first neighbor? What was the thing that he said to me when he saw me cleaning my dad's, driveway? And he said, "Hey, can you do mine?" And like, I just started just going back to that and really try to put my thoughts together. And then I ran some of that through GPT to help me, kind of like figure out the storytelling framework of it. So to your point, like, yes, I did use tools, but first I wanted to gather the core inspiration rather than shortcut my thinking.
Yes, I think some of us, especially if, I just out of curiosity, how many people in this room are ESL? Raise your hand. ESL, English is a second language. The white people are like, what is ESL? God, it's good to be part of the dominant culture, isn't it? Mother effer, get out of here. Yeah, let's get real, right? All you ESL, right? Right? Yeah, that tells you a lot. That's perfect. Like, where are we, in Orange County? What the fudge? All right. Sorry. Melanie, I'm going to take shots at you all day long. Are you cool? You cool? All right, we're good. We're good like that. We've broken bread, so we're good. Okay. So here's the thing. If you're ESL, you are not as confident in your English. And we get self-conscious of this, and we're like, oh, I can't write this. I don't remember what Mrs. Tuttle taught me. It was like, fudge, I'm going to go to GPT. I better research this. And before you know it, it's a copy-paste of a lot of other people's ideas. And all the humanity in your voice is just stripped. It's long gone. We can't even see it anymore. It's so far in the distant rearview mirror. It's like a little speck on the horizon. So here's the bit that you can learn from this, okay? People who are memory experts who talk about the way the brain works, which I'm not, they said that all memories require two things. You guys know what the two things are? Two things. Really, it's not that complicated. Yes. I knew you would say that. Annalie is a highly emotional, self-identified person. So it's like, what is the square root of 4? Emotion. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure of it. Okay. So perfect. That's way to chime in. Perfect. You got it. Okay. What's number 2? Who said that? Yes. Yes, Gary. Story. So all memories, and you could try this yourself. Try to think of a memory without an emotion. So you know how there are days and sometimes weeks and months or years of your life where you can't recall a single thing? Because nothing happened. Nothing stirred you. And it could be like, it was Monday and then it's Friday. Like, how did a week go by? Everybody had that experience? Because nothing stirred your emotions. Now, what happens when it's all emotion and no story? What? Chaos? Well, yeah, some people would call it like traumatic experience. Too much emotion and you blank out. You just can't recall because your mind wants to protect you from that. So there was a gentleman who used to work for me. I won't tell you his name. But I'm like, what's your earliest memory? He's like, how old were you? He's like 14. I was like, bro, I'm going to tell you something right now. You've had some bad stuff happen in your life. He goes, I haven't. I'm like, I promise you, you have. The usual answer is like 2-3 years old. He's 14. His is 14. So he's like, no, there's nothing. He's a jock. Guys go to gym. He should have been here, but I don't know why he's not here today. And then months, years later, he's like, Chris, I've gone to therapy. Oh my God, you were right. And he's done so much self-development. He's a different person today. So when it's too emotional, it becomes some kind of trauma, and we can't process that. So you need to have a story, and you have to have an emotion. Now, here's the cool part. Where can you mine your best memories? Where? How do you do this? Because that's what Carlos is talking about. He's like, something popped in his brain. He remembered something, and it was cool. He started writing about it, and it was like one of it. Usually it's very easy. It feels almost effortless to retell that story. So my trick is go to your photo album. So here's how I know. When something feels important to you, you'll get your camera out. It used to be a camera, now it's your iPhone or your smartphone, right? So back when it was your birthday, your mom, your dad, if you had one, would have taken a picture. When you went camping or when you won an award, because that was a moment they wanted to preserve. And when we look at those pictures, a flood of memories come back. And sometimes you can still relive the sight, the sounds, and the smells of that moment. So the exercise I usually have people do in my workshop is I said, just go through your iPhone right now, create a new album called My Memory Story Bucket. And everything that is just sending you a feeling, move it to that folder. It just makes a copy of it. It doesn't really move it, I think. So then when you're desperate to write a story, open it up. Mine has hundreds of images in it. And they're stories I will tell until I'm dead, because those are the ones that I want to hold on to. And then you pull out one of them on a dry writing day, and you start writing based on the image. Sit there, look at the image, process it, like, okay. What was I doing? What was that? Okay, oh yeah, some funny things happened that day. And write about it. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to write linear stories. You know what I mean when I say linear stories? This is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. And this is how people like to ask questions. They need to tell me a linear story about what had happened at the beginning. They get to the middle, I'm already gone. Like I don't even know where the story is going. And then somewhere near the end, if they're somewhat decent, they'll actually ask a question, but not always. So what we want to do is, if this is the beginning of your story and this is the end of your story, find the part that has the most conflict. It's usually right around here. Start the story there. Because stories love conflict. My coach told me to do this, and I refused for 4 years. That's the beginning of a great story. My parents fought all throughout my childhood. I never knew why. I'm just making up random stuff here. Mom and dad. That's not true. Okay? You find where the conflict is and begin the story there. And then one thing that you can ask yourself, and I love to do this because I'm manipulative, is ask yourself, what emotion do I want the audience to feel? It's an exercise for me to see if I can make them feel what I feel. Okay? Ask yourself, this is good for Annalie, what is the feeling that I want them to have? And then what you do is you selectively edit the details so that it helps to drive the emotional part. Everybody understand what I'm saying? So sometimes I write posts to make people cry. Not like sad tears, but just to feel an emotion of sadness, but not in like, oh, pity this or that, but it's just like, man, this is a love that a father has for his child. Or this thing that I wanted my parent to give me but didn't, and now, there's these emotions. Drigo?
Chris, but aren't the details important?
Who said that?
I'm asking.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Hold on to that. Okay? Really, hold on to it, and I'll get to it, okay? So we have this feeling, and the reason why I put this here, and men and women, I promise you this, if you skip this step, you're going to lose a lot of the potential power of your story. Okay? I almost always think, I want people to be angry right now. I want people to be fired up. I want people to move their butts. There's a feeling I have, and art, most of what art is I have a feeling, I'm going to make this thing, and when you experience this thing, I hope you have some version of that same feeling. That's art. So this is how we can move away from generic, boring BS veneer content to something that has some soul, because there's a human asking another human to have a shared human experience. Probably the next release of GPT will do this for you, but right now, not yet. Probably. I'm not even kidding. Okay? And then ask yourself this next thing, and this is very important. And answer the question, the reason why I'm telling you this story is because, what is it? So you need to know those things. What is the feeling I want you to have? And the reason why I'm telling you this story is because something. It doesn't have to be a big lesson. It's just there's a reason. And in fact, in public speaking, I learned this from Vin Zhang. When he tells a story, he double taps on it by saying, the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to do this thing. So he makes it super clear. Because some people get lost in the sauce. Yeah? So feeling and the reason. Okay. So far, everybody understand? Any questions so far? Good. I'm glad the air conditioning is working. It's starting to cool down a little bit. Oh, okay. Good fan movement. You know how to blow air. Okay, back to your question about details. What do you mean by details, Drigo? Speak into the mic, please.
Well, I feel like the detail, like when I try to tell stories, I try to include a detail because I feel like those are the important things. But sometimes you're like, dude, just take all that out. You don't need that. Like, just focus on the points. And I think to some of us, when we share stories, those little details is what matters to us. And I think we end up adding them to your story. But every time I show you something, you're like, gone, gone, gone.
Don't say it like that. I sound like a heartless person.
Oh, sorry, robot. Yes. So gone, erase.
Yeah, but let me ask you this question before I answer your question. What happens when you read the edited version without all the details in it?
It usually sounds a lot better.
Why is it so hard for you to say that?
Well, I'm just doing, well, I know this, I'm working with you, but I think for a lot of us, when we start to write, we want to include those details because we think it's important. I'm lucky enough I get to work with you that you're like, hey, just take that out. And sometimes I'm like, well, how did you know what to choose, what to keep?
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a live storytelling workshop, okay? We're going to have you tell a story that you think is good, and I will take out my butcher knife, and I'll chop it down, and we'll see if it's any better. I've done this many, many times with Drigo. And I'm not really exaggerating, but I'm just going to tell a very sliver of a story. He'll show me something, and he'll tell me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like already bored. I'm like, okay. I'm like, just tell this, and that. And he's like, I hate you. I worked on that for hours and for days, and you just come in, you do that, and it's already better. Why is that? There's two reasons. One, I'm just a better storyteller. No, I'm just kidding. Because objectively, I can listen to your story and say, that's not important at all. Subjectively, you can't see the difference because you're in the sauce. That's usually why. But when you make a practice of seeing like what it started out and what it is, if you see enough of those examples, you'll see the pattern. That's a sign of intelligence. Intelligence is nothing more than pattern recognition. So over time, in theory, Drigo should get better at writing, or he's not intelligent. Sorry, Drigo, sorry. No, you know what I'm saying? So that's the part of it, is we have to just learn like what a good story looks like. Now, you all know this. I think you know this. A film, I think Steven Spielberg said this, it's made 3 times. A film is made 3 times. Once when it's written, once when it's shot, and once when it's edited. So think about that. Steven Spielberg, probably one of the most successful commercial directors, once when it's written, and guess what you're doing? You're writing the story. And you publish that story. And you know what? Usually, in most scenarios, it's handled by 3 different people. The writer, the screenwriter. That's why there's different credits. The director, and then the editor. And they're very important to the creative process. Some directors are so good, like Quentin Tarantino, they can write it and shoot it. But you know what they don't do? They don't edit it. And that's the thing that you guys don't have, is you don't have an editor. And Jody, you write for Forbes? They have editors. And if you've ever written a book, you have editors. And if it's a really good book, you have a really good editor. Because they're not writing the book, but they're telling you this part doesn't matter. And we need more of this, okay? So me listening to Drigo's story, I'm uninterested in all of it until it gets to the point where there's some conflict. So all this detail he's added doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to the reader at all. The details do matter when you're here. And usually, we do the opposite. We do all the details here, and we have no details here. Just move your details to the part where it matters. Does that make sense? So details matter a lot because they make your story grounded in reality. So we have to have sensory details, and we have to have dialogue, typically. Even if it's inner dialogue, it's much better if you want to be a better storyteller. So that's where you want to do. You want to shift details from here to here. And the reason why is because those details now help to drive the feeling and the reason. So when you have a detail that doesn't drive the feeling or the reason, it's out. And it sucks. And I'll tell you in the real world, this is what I do. So usually, when I'm doing a keynote, a presentation, my slides are like, I don't know, 600 slides. Too much detail. On the plane, I'm like, let me get rid of some. Now it's 580 slides. I still got some work to do. So by a day of talk, it's usually 370. It's much more palatable. So I have to be my own editor. And the reason why I do this is because I'm compartmentalizing my own brain. I'm playing the role of the writer, 600 slides. I'm now going to be the editor, probably, and chop that down to about half. And then as the director, I'm going to live that. And the way I present the slides is different than the way the slides are arranged. So I am doing my own thing where I'm doing it 3 times. Make sense, everybody? The danger, as most of you, is you're so in a rush to get something done, you don't even care. It's a to-do list. Get it off my plate ASAP versus I get to do list. One's a burden, one's a reward. I look at content creation as a reward. In fact, all I want to do is to make content. That's all I want to do. But then I'm like, I'm neglecting the business. I got to go do some business stuff first. Drigo, why'd you give me that sign? That we're 90 minutes away? Oh, we're at the 90-minute mark. Okay, thanks. Okay, cool. All right. Would you guys like to workshop a story? Would you like to try? Before I go any further, I would like to just pause, actually, and open it up for any kind of conversation on or off what we said. It doesn't matter. If it's relating to content, to community building, to brand building, or something about what we're talking about in terms of like the broad umbrella of social media, I'd love just to pause and get some engagement from you and hopefully answer some questions. I'm always in search of a really freaking good question. I really am. High and low, far and wide, I'm looking for a good question. So, Rocio, I haven't seen you in ages. How you doing? How long has it been? Well, who's got the mic? Thank you. How long has it been? Like 5 years? More? Pre-pandemic? You look the same. Thank you. We set each other up for that, guys. You're so amazing. So are you. Okay. Go ahead. Hold on.
Here? Okay. So one thing that stood out for me back to when we were talking about the teacher and what she did for you, and it ties into this, is she cared. I think the main thing that stands out to you when somebody does something like that is that you can tell that she cared and she showed you in the ways that she did. So I think similar with content and with the questions that you're asking, instead of just going through this rapid fire, oh, what's gonna get people to my event or whatever, is like tap into the question that is gonna show people that you care and you're kind of putting yourself into their shoes. That's it.
That's a statement, right?
Huh?
That was a statement.
Well,
Was there a question?
no,
No.
I wasn't saying I had a question.
Oh,
I was
I thought I
saying,
said who had a great question.
No.
She's like me.
no, I was saying I had a nucleus
I remember
to
you, Rocio,
whatever.
My bad, I'm just messing around.
Yeah, no, it's just like a nucleus of any question that we ask.
Yeah.
You know, you really have to kind of like stop and just care.
You
Put
do have to
yourself
care.
into their shoes.
You could argue that if your content is not doing well, it's because you don't care. You just don't care. You don't care when you made it. You don't care how people respond to it. You don't care that you're actually giving any value.
Yeah.
You just stop caring. You're phoning it in.
You're just asking ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's about how much you care. Do all my work for me, please.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of doing work for work's sake. I don't think you have to like prove your worth or earn your right. No. Work as little as possible, but the part that you don't export to other people is the you part. Where are you in this piece? And there's a little test that you can do too, in case you're not sure, is if you were to remove your picture, your social media handle, but the exact same post, put somebody else's name on it, and it could feel like it could be for anybody, it's a sign that you're not in it. Right? So when I write my post, whether I have the machine help me or not, I step back and I'm like, does that sound like me? If it don't, I'm not publishing it. I go back and I change it.
And it's so easy to spot ChatGPT written content and even visuals and all that. There's something about like the soul is missing is the only way that I can describe it.
Do you know what the soul is? Do you? We
I do.
describe the soul. I mean, I don't mean like in our human existence, but the soul in the
Yeah.
writing. I can tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try it. Let's ask the room.
Authenticity.
Okay, let's do this. What is soul in writing? Okay? Let's just throw out answers, okay? I'll write them on the board. Soul.
Personal experience.
Okay, personal experience. Hold on. I haven't even written down the words. You know what I mean? Like monkey jump. Okay, personal experience. Okay, what else?
Authenticity.
What? Well, substance is too broad. Everything has substance. Authenticity? What do you mean?
Like making mistakes, like not everything is perfect.
Okay, mistakes. Imperfection. I like your word imperfection better than mistakes.
Yeah.
Good job. That was an alley-oop there. Melania helps. Emotion. Relatable. How? How do we know it's relatable? So here's what we need to do. Okay? Here's what I learned. When it comes to like looking at work and critiquing it, sometimes it helps to have parameters. Sometimes it's better to have checklists. This is a checklist moment. When you write your post and you're like, is there a personal story in there? Nope. Does it feel perfect? Yup. Does it have any emotion? Nope. Delete it. Just delete it. We want to make it that clear. Does everybody understand? When you're like, oh, does it reach higher standards? I'm like, I don't know what that means. Right? Okay, what else? What is soul? How do we know it has passion? How do you know? If you're a teacher and you grade it, like, Jimmy, there's no passion. And it's like, but Kingo, what does it mean? We're like, I don't know. I don't feel your passion. F. How? You tell me how you know. If I cry, if I get excited, if I get anxious. What choice of words? Help me, help me. Alley-oop, anybody? Passion. I agree with you, I just don't know how to check it off a list. Remember, we're looking for soul. We're just looking for soul right now, not like if it's good content or not. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Okay, Rosie on the back.
Using contractions. ChatGPT is not going to do that.
Is that right? It won't? I didn't know that.
I feel like in terms of passion, like if somebody's passionate about something, they're sharing it, it like motivates you in one direction. Whereas like you almost can't stay in the same kind of like.
Yeah. So the thing is, we're looking for something that 99 out of 100 of us know how to grade it. So if I said passion, we get scores all over the board. It's all over the place. I think you're right. We just need a different word that just so like, yeah, I think I got it.
Communicating that there's something at stake that you're
There you go.
Could it be that passion is communicating that there's a risk of losing something? There's something at stake, like there's the fear of losing something.
I like that a lot. Hold on, I like that a lot. I don't know if I would put that in the soul. We'll put it down here as necessary components for story. And now we can open this up a little bit, okay? What's at stake? Okay. And then you said vulnerability?
Well, he said risk of losing something. Whenever we feel exposed or there's something at risk, it's a feeling of vulnerability. And we see that in others as courage. We are inspired by that.
What's another word for vulnerability? Yes. Yes, I think so.
What's the
He said
word?
transparent. There's a level of transparency here. Like, last year I lost money. That's one version. Last year I lost $484. First of all, that's personal experience. There's certain details. Those are the details that matter, by the way. And there's transparency. Versus I made a lot of money. You know, every stupid guru out there, oh, 7-figure entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like, over my lifetime, yeah, everybody gets there eventually. You know what I mean? What do you mean? Give me the details. Show me the receipts. How much of it was profitable? How much did you pay for that? I want to know the numbers, you bastard. Okay.
You gotta have a stance, like an opinion. Otherwise, it's just a fact, right? Because then if you're passionate about something, you're either like really for or against something.
Okay, you get
Or
somewhere with this.
perspective, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, hold on. Peter, hold on. Do you guys understand what he's saying? Yeah. The room's divided. Your opinion is dividing the room. Yeah. So I know what's in here somewhere. You know what I'm saying? When you get a leaky tire, a little Cobra strike, I think you're onto something. Do we put that as part of story or soul? Soul? Opinion, yeah. So, okay, can we put that? Why do you grimace? No, I would say story more. Oh, story more. Kinga? I'm good with soul. It could be both. Really, it's a 50-50, but we'll put it here. It's a little 50-50. You have to have an opinion. There's some soul there. See, now here's what we're doing. Here's what I learned from 15 plus years of teaching. When you tell students they ain't rad, they don't know what to do with that. Make it cool. Yeah, teach, thanks. But if you're like, does it have a personal experience? Are they any imperfections? Well, get out of here. So teaching is a transference of how you make decisions to someone else. So this is meta now because we talked about making content is becoming a better teacher. To be the best teacher you can be. So if you don't know how to teach, we screwed. So let's become better teachers, and you make better content, and you get more people. Does that make sense? Okay? So we're getting somewhere. We're starting to cook here, as my friend would say. We're cooking with gas. Something's happening.
Chris.
Yes.
How about irreplicable?
What?
I don't know if I'm saying it right. that's my ESL. kicking
ESL,
in.
I get you, brother.
Like, you
There's enough.
Cannot be replicated.
Can't be replicated?
Yeah.
That's soul? How do we, like, it's a tough one. That's a high standard, Carlos. That no one can replace it?
No, like your personality is just uniquely yours.
Well,
Your
that's
identity.
what we're trying to figure out as soul. So we're taking what's uniquely yours and breaking it down to subcomponents.
Okay.
That's like a higher component. We want to go lower. Is that okay? Yep. Osio, have you lost a lot of weight? You look very fit. No? Yeah, because the jacket. I got you. Yes.
Comes down to it. No. Is a soul egoless, and it's our humanity that brings the ego in because we're afraid of dying?
I need other people's opinions about this. I don't know.
The ego seeks praise.
Yeah.
The ego seeks praise, approval, and validation. And I feel like when we are in our egos, that's when we're replicating all the bullshit we see on ChatGPT and what we see from other content creators. But what I think we're trying to identify here with soul is stepping out of your ego and doing what is actually authentically you, despite people liking what you post.
So she said no ego.
Oh, I heard the opposite. Yeah, I agree with you.
It's like a female Latin on Latin crime here. Okay, so she says no ego, but ego is another big word. It's a suitcase word, and it needs to be broken down into subwords. So when we had Mark Pollard here, he said that But like he broke it down. He's like, I'm not 100% convinced that this is the actual theory, but he goes, like it feels like a very Anglo-Saxon word, which is like broad, versus a Viking word, which is gut, kill, bleed, die. We're looking for Viking words right now, versus like lofty words, like Anglo-Saxon words. Okay, let's get real basic. The other Rocio, please. That's in soul or story? What are you thinking there? Soul accountability. What does that mean? Oh, sorry. I guess our online audience is really upset at us because it's just silent for like 5 minutes. Go ahead. No? Can you hear you?
Now I can.
There, then I can too.
All right.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to be smart. I just am.
So I was saying, to me, accountability is the opposite of being egotistical.
Okay, I don't agree with that, but let's just say with accountability, what does that mean?
To a certain degree. I mean, not directly, but I think
Okay.
because you're leaving yourself to be vulnerable.
Okay, let me reframe the question, okay? When you listen to music and you say, I got no soul, nobody's thinking, is that accountable? When you're reading a piece of poetry and you're like, that got no soul in it, you're not really thinking accountability either. Mostly it's emotion, I think. We're not really super concerned about contractions. That's technical, but that's true, I guess. We're looking for a lens into the world that's uniquely you, and we're trying to break down what that is. I agree with Tim. It's personal experience, so some imperfections. I think these are the top 3 answers on the board here if we're playing Family Feud. Yeah? Then give me a deep word. Give me a Viking word, Annalie Hansen.
I don't know if it's a I don't plan saying Viking words. I was more into maybe divine or vibe or something like that. That's so for me that it's difficult to put your finger on what it is. It's just the it thing. That's vibe.
Okay.
Consumed.
That's Stacy.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey. Consumed.
Consume. What does that mean?
So revealing.
Like you just ate it?
When you reveal how something consumed.
How do we? That's like passion, I think. It's a cousin to passion. Yeah? It consumes you. You're so in it. It's an emotion. Okay, Ari?
Painting a picture from your own perspective. Okay. I don't know. I feel like when you read something very specific about somebody's story, yes, it embedded their experience in it, but they're also bringing you into their vision, reliving that. So it just stuck in me, like painting a picture from the story that you're reading.
Where's my other mic? Oh, okay, hold on. Tim, you go and then Carrie, you go. Okay. What, a battery?
What about like everybody has their own way of speaking, like terms that they use, slang, voice. Like you said, like Hormozy has like, am I crazy? You know, like somebody says like all the time. Like what are we talking about? Like, you know? Yeah.
Put 2 on the board, guys. Stop slacking.
I don't know if there's a word for this there's not in my head right now. So for me, passion is usually backed up by some kind of change that I want to see happen, right? So it's like, how do I want to contribute to the world? Why am I here, right? Are you following me or no? Okay, so it's almost like, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, mission maybe. Like it's like, what is the big change that I want to see, and why am I sharing this? What's the difference I want to make in the world?
That's a pretty high bar to hit for every story or every piece of content you want to put out there. You know, like there's a group. They're called the Moth Radio Hour, the Moth Group, and they do something called story slams. All right, and they don't tell you need to have a big lesson. What they do look for is a transformation. How did the person change in the story? That's all they're looking for. So stories need to have some kind of transformation. So I'll add that in there, okay? But not every story or anything that you have, it's just that you're not, otherwise all your stories would be like so mission-y and like, I'm done with you. You're preaching at me at this point.
So can I?
You want to add to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like give it a little more context in
Yes.
that it's a space that I'm holding within myself, knowing that what I'm sharing has the intent, the bigger intent for the difference that I want to make in the world. You don't have to like say it in words in the post. Yeah, values. Thank you. Yeah.
So, do you want to put that in
Yeah,
soul? It has to
intention.
have, intention is freaking hard to check off on a list.
Well, it's almost like, because when I'm working with clients, I help them get very clear on why they do what they do. And we usually dig down into like past experiences, all of that. And so when they can get back to, I notice they get off course
Yes.
when they stop thinking about that why.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm trying to capture.
Yes. Okay, I know where you're coming from now.
Okay.
'Cause in branding work, this is what you do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So what you do is get to their why. It gets distilled into the mission or vision statement, and then the stories come from that.
Yeah.
But now we're in the story space, so this is too
Oh,
much
we're
for us.
talking soul. So I was thinking
Soul
soul in
to like a
general.
piece of content.
Ah, gotcha.
No,
The soul of the content.
The,
I'm
soul
going
in general
too
is
deep.
such a big word that I'm gonna faint.
Yeah.
Get there, you know.
Gotcha.
Because quite literally, I don't want to talk about it. It's gonna stir up too many emotions here. Did you want to say something? No, I was trying to help you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carol wants to say something. Can we pass it to Carol, please? Wait, don't start. The mic is about to come to you. Just wait 2 seconds.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna
Yeah.
say something about soul, but I feel like we're moving on to story.
Go ahead, say soul,
But
whatever.
with soul, like just thinking about what you said, like it doesn't have soul, and like when I think about that, it's like intuitive, it's innate. It's like you hear soul, and everyone always says, "Oh my God, that's my soulmate," right? It's something like they get you, like you feel like it moves.
What are they getting,
you.
though?
You feeling like they're getting you, like they understand you, like they see, like you're being seen or you're being felt. And I don't
How?
know, when I think about soul, it's like something innate. It triggers something innate in you, like
Can
a
you
gut.
put words on it? No. I'm pointing to him like I got you,
Oh,
so he doesn't
sorry.
have to do this the whole time.
Can I put a word to it? Like
Yeah, we're looking for
nothing I
words.
said were words. Like
Yeah, we need words.
Intuitive.
Fudge. That's like
Personal,
a
like
Anglo-Saxon word
gut?
here.
I don't know.
Intuition. You can't. I mean, I don't think the list is bad. I mean, we don't have to like. What's that? Well, somebody pass the mic, especially because I could barely hear Christine. No,
Oh, I hate mics. Everything.
they love you.
They don't. Everything.
Reciprocate.
Everything that's described under soul. So if I just take a psychological lens, everyone's describing their felt sense. It's basically connecting with themselves, the ability to connect with ourselves, to tell our personal story, reflect on our imperfections, evoke our emotions through the sensations we feel in our body, our opinions, our tone and style, and then we're simply just telling our truth. Like the soul is our felt sense, it does all these things, and we're able to speak our truth in our stories. Therefore, if we're able to do that, people can connect with us and see themselves in our stories, and then that evokes a kind of emotional, a felt sense in themselves. That's just how I see it and how I write my story. So I've just been listening, and that's kind of how I encapsulate it.
Okay. You have your own mic.
No, it doesn't work. Okay.
It will work.
Oh, you got it.
He's got it.
So I love what you said, because when I'm looking at the list of the 6 things, the top 3 are what I think we already nailed it with the top 3.
You're saying
And
good. Let's move on.
And I think the bottom 3 is the messaging, the packaging of the soul. You see what I'm saying? The delivery, your POV, like you talked about earlier.
Well, like that.
taking off the hyphens that ChatGPT is going to give you in the contractions.
This is probably
That's
the lowest one. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
messaging. But the top three, I really feel like
Which is what? What do you? How do you describe the top three? The essence?
is what you're trying to describe. The thing
Yeah.
that everyone's saying, intuitive. You feel it. You see it. You know when something has soul, and you can't describe it. That's why we're all struggling with this
Yeah.
because it is innate. Because you recognize it's not here. So personal experience, imperfections.
Okay.
We don't want someone who is perfect.
Okay, all you native English speakers, white people, what do we want to categorize this? And I think this is what you call packaging or delivery. What?
I called it messaging. That's the delivery of
Delivery.
the soul.
I like
Yeah.
delivery better. Delivery, okay? We'll call this delivery. Okay, great. We're getting somewhere. Delivery. Okay. What do we call the top one? Human experience? Content?
I thought that was the soul. The soul checklist.
No, the soul will break into two parts. We can call it the intention, we call it essence, and then there's delivery. Essence? I like essence. Say it again. Essence. Okay. All right. We okay with this? All right. Pretty good. Contractions are a little lower. I'll put in here, I don't know if I want to make a big deal out of this, but there's tone, the way you speak, and then there's the quirks, which I'll call your mannerisms. They're a little bit different to me, okay? So I'm going to add, and this mannerisms could be style, so maybe we remove this, and we just put mannerisms here, okay? All right. So there's multiple ways for us to succeed, which also means there's multiple ways for us to freaking fail. So we look at it, it's like, is there a personal experience in here? If there's not, start over. It's anything that's imperfect. If it's too polished and sterile, it sniffs like GPT. We don't want that. And I think emotion and personal experience probably has to be 1 and 2, and whereas imperfections might be 3 on this list. Is that okay? Would you guys like to put emotion above personal experience or the way it is? It's higher. Yeah. A surprise. And it was like, I vote for emotion first, always. Maybe. 1, 2, some of us, 3. Okay. Okay, in terms of this, let's rank it 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not all the same. So I already know which one's going to be 4, because that's a very technical thing. Opinion, tone, and mannerism. Let's give it like 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the most important thing for delivery? Tone? Probably. 2? They're not in the cheap seats, but they don't get all the opinions. Peanut gallery. All you plebes, voice your opinions. Your 1 cent counts here. What do we got? Opinion? Oh, you cave to the power, don't you? You're supposed to fight the power. All right, I agree with you. I'm just messing around. What a bastard.
Hey,
Okay,
yeah.
There we go. I know how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got something here. And you know what? You know what's really cool about this? I'm getting echo, Drigo. Is in a relatively short period of time, we as a bunch of strangers previously, now we're friends, someday we'll be family, we can actually come up with stuff. Now, let's zoom all the way out and let's do a meta moment. Meta moment. Let's try and talk about what you observed in this process that might be replicable. It's a hard word, Carlos. It's a very hard word. Don't be too many syllables, okay? Okay, let's try and extract how you can do this on your own or with a client or with a buddy without 50 people and me here in the same room with you. Because that's the real gift of teaching is you should be able to do this on your own.
Real quick, I know some of you guys have questions as we're moving through this. Just do me a favor, write them down, just so we don't break Chris's flow, and then we'll do a recap before we wrap for lunch, and we'll answer any of the questions that you guys might have or any points that you wanted to add to this, all right?
Thanks, Drigo, because my train of thought can be broken quite easily. But we know that your questions are important. Thank you. All right. Anybody want to share, what can we extract from this? Because look, to be completely transparent, I get paid a lot of money to do this. I believe you all would like to make some money. So if you can do some version of this on your own, the chances and the probability of you making more money increase a little bit, maybe a lot. So let's break it down. I walked into this room with no agenda except for social media. We landed here. How did we get here? How can you, Hansel and Gretel, leave your breadcrumbs so you can get back here? How can you get back here? Because you know the crows are going to eat your bread, your little crumbs. How do we get back here? All right, who's got their hand up? Oh, I forgot. My bad. You know what? Cyrus, right? Cyrus. Cyrus was supposed to say something way back, and I totally forgot about him.
All right.
And then I'm like, oh,
It's still relevant, I think.
I believe it is always relevant, brother.
So for me, and tell me if I'm completely off, I feel like every single thing on that list, there's a catalyst to it that starts and ends it. For me, I would say the one word is purpose. Like, what's going to get me to go to war and actually fight, let's say, half the people in this room based on my purpose? The catalyst that precedes the emotion, where I'm either feeling anger, true anger, because it challenges my core values, or does it get me excited enough to want to still pursue that fight?
Okay. That's a statement.
No. I'm saying, like, I would, somewhere in there, I would add purpose. I just don't know exactly where it would fit.
The problem with the word purpose is it's not something we can just check on off the list either. Right? It's a big word.
It's a big word, but I think
vibe.
would you agree that at least it's a catalyst in terms of what the emotion behind it would be?
So like you're saying,
and your opinion is formed afterwards, right?
Yeah. So are you saying the catalyst that existed in real time when it happened versus the catalyst for when you want to write this piece of content?
Perhaps both.
Well, which were you referring to?
I would first go when it happened, and then it probably is reignited in some way when you're trying to create the content.
Okay. That's an interesting point. That requires a really high level of self-awareness, right? To know in the moment, this is why this is happening, to have that level of self-awareness and the objectivity to be able to understand that, and then the ability to save it in your memory long term, to be able to recall what that is a gazillion years later. I like that. I think we need to hold on to that because I'm trying to make it stupid simple so that it's achievable. So one of the things you should probably write down in your notebook somewhere is don't complicate this. We come in with too many $6 words and we're trying to be super academic and sound really smart. And what happens is when you're trying to sound really smart is you just push a barrier between you and the audience. You notice I have a very specific way of speaking. I'm not trying to use fancy language until it's absolutely necessary. I'm trying to choose clarity over complexity, always. And so it's one of the things we were trying to do. So when you come in and like, oh, that piece of content doesn't have soul, that's a complex idea. So one of the things we do is we distill complex into simple, bite-sized things. Probably number 2 you should write in your notebook is, can I check it off on a list? Is it that stupid, simple, clear? Because if you can, the probability of someone understanding what you're saying is going to increase. So for example, some of you are creative directors. You manage teams, technical teams even. If you can't create a checklist for them with some parameters, good luck. That's why people have high failure rates, because you cannot put into words what it is that you expect a win looks like, right? Now, I'll give you a little side note, and we want to keep on meta unpacking here if we can. I'm kind of semi-addicted to this show I've found recently called Updating. It's where they have a blind date, literally they're blindfolded, and they try to pitch each other to each other. And the level of sophistication, and I say that like non-sophistication, in one's ability to communicate what we want in life, there's a reason why you're on the show. You haven't found anybody because you can't even tell people what you want. And it's shocking to me that if somebody had half a brain and could speak to that, they would win the hearts of everybody in the room. Right? It's really interesting to see like who somebody picks based on the quality of their answers or the quality of their questions. Smoking hot woman, guy asked the question, she gave him super generic answers. He picked, in my opinion, a less attractive person, but she had way better answers. I think when he took off his blindfold, he's like, oh. It's because she didn't do herself any favors. Because you know why? Good-looking people never work on their personality. Sorry. That's why I'm so shallow. See what I'm saying? We'll just hang out, guys. So you guys need to practice communicating in words what you want. I know y'all, like Carol's like, my soulmate. And I'm like, what the fudge does that even mean? Tell me what you want. What you really, really want. In words. Tell me what you want. Okay? So make it stupid simple. Somebody else have a meta moment? Pull it out. Yeah, of course.
What? So in your opinion, what would be the simple...
Cyrus, you sound really angry.
Good.
No, not good. I'm just kidding. Just calm down.
Yeah.
Too much coffee or something.
Right.
Let's bring it down a level.
For sure, too much
Yes.
coffee.
Okay.
So in your
I'm
opinion,
worried about your tone right now.
What would be the simple version of what I said?
I don't know.
Okay.
Good question, though. Great follow-up. Like, we're struggling. When somebody's like, oh, my soulmate, I don't know what that is. You know, my vibe is just too many things. I'll know it when I see it. Okay. That's not helpful. I don't know. I'm sure there's something there. So tonight, after your learning brain is off and your archival brain starts processing this, you will probably have an answer. DM me. And oftentimes, that's what happens to me. I'll be on the drive home like, God, Cyrus, he nailed it. And I should have been smart enough to recognize it, but I couldn't. My pattern recognition machine is, at capacity. So I wasn't able to process. That's the beautiful thing about this. We have residual ideas that can linger. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris, can I add some words to the list?
It's Daniel, right?
Yeah.
Yes? Add words. Are you using GPT?
Hell yeah.
You mother effer. We're trying to be human here. But okay, go ahead. Use your brain.
Well, my evidence is that me and my performance partner, Adam, have been working 4 years, and we'll write stuff on Zoom together.
Yeah.
And then we'll plug it in. And both of us were like, we just got outwritten again.
Hold on. Let's have a moment for humanity. Moment of silence. It's freaking true. I'm 100% there with you.
This is like
okay, let's just recap which is what happened here. Daniel says him and Adam, right? Yeah, they've been writing and they jam. They're like, we're freaking smart, bro. Both of us, we're so freaking smart. And plug it into GPT and it just whips your butt.
Many, 100% of the time.
100% of the time and orders of magnitude better.
A magnitude
Yes.
better.
Okay. I have a confession. I wasn't sure I was going to do it today and here and now, but I'm going to do it. I've been testing AI my content. I know, because I'm all authenticity, imperfections, bruh. So here's the thing. Jody Cook up front, sends me some lines to like, hey, you should try to write some fun things for your description. So she sends me a bunch of lines, right? And I'm like, all right, well, I'll post them on LinkedIn. And the engagement on it's way higher than what the human writes. I'm like, God dang it. Daniel has a point. I'm using Stanley right now. We're testing a partnership with Stanley. And Stanley, besides being the cart thing, they've got a LinkedIn robot. It's very good. So the CEO of Stanley says, Chris, just ask it, give me 5 topic ideas. That's all I wrote in. It gave me, I'm like, oh, I like number 2. And it said, tell it to write it for you. It writes it. I'm like, it's pretty good. That's me being jealous and petty. It's all right. It's all right. So I said, let me run an experiment. I copy that. I edit it a little bit because it's a little braggadocious. Maybe it thinks I'm really braggadocious, but I'm like, chill, bro. It's too bro energy here. I changed some things. I pasted in 4,000 likes. My normal posts get 400 to 800. I'm like, okay, bro, anybody can hit one out of the park once. Let me do another one. 3,000 likes. The order of performance that the machine has over me as a human is 6 to 8 times. I'm being generous to myself. It's probably higher. So I'm right there with you. Wait, your mic? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
You got me?
Yeah, we got you.
So I always teach my clients, you can start with it, but there's always things that you can add.
Yes.
You can always bring back your personality. You can always bring back all these elements, right? But as a kickoff point, I have twice as many words as you have on the list.
I'm sure. But hold on. We'll tease it a little bit. Don't tell us this. So I messaged back the CEO of Stanley, and he's giddy. Of course, because his machine works.
Right.
Okay, his machine works. And I write to him, we cooked. We are cooked.
We're just in a different place.
Well, you guys know what I mean when I say we're cooked? The man versus the machine, it's not even close. I feel like Paul Bunyan in Big Blue. The chainsaws ripped us apart.
Right, and that's
Those
part
of you guys, you know? Okay,
I
three
mean,
people
that's
know that
part,
reference.
that's part of what we've been talking about for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
So-
like how do we adapt? How do we evolve?
Yeah, but I just want to give a moment of silence for humanity. Because as I'm writing human content, as I'm trying, I'm swinging hard, it's beating me.
But you read it and you learned.
Did I?
Did you? Did you read it? Did you absorb it? Did you learn from it?
Well, here's what I'm doing. Because I believe in full transparency, I'm building a giant case study right now. So I tell it, I've been copy pasting, like here's what I wrote, here's how I edited, and here's how we're moving forward. And I will show you the before and afters, because there are parts to it that I got to put myself back in.
Right.
So I have read it. And here's how I cry myself to sleep at night. I tell it, well, it probably wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't write so much stuff for it to work off of. So I wonder, how would it perform if you don't write enough? Because the CEO explained to me how it works. Do you guys want to know how Stanley works? Okay. And for some of you, I might even share with you how it actually does it. Because, of course, I'm very curious, okay? So he told me, high level, it looks at all of your content, like all of your LinkedIn content. It figures out the highest performing content you've ever made. It looks for patterns. And then it looks at your specific niche, and it looks at all the content on LinkedIn that's in that niche, that's the very best, that day. It re-indexes it fresh every single time. So it compares what you've written, what is top performing in your niche, now what do you want to say?
Right.
I cannot beat that.
No.
Because I don't care enough.
How many hours do you have?
Not that much. Imagine how many human hours you'd have to invest just to find out what's popping in your niche just that day.
Right.
That's more than a full. Essence or delivery? See how we're like codifying all this stuff? It's that easy now. What do you think? Yeah. And transparency? It's kind of, it's a cousin there. I'll put it in there. We'll call it transparency. Because to share your imperfections is to be somewhat transparent, if you're doing it for real. Okay.
Honesty. Honesty.
Keep on.
Presence.
That's an Anglo-Saxon word, I feel. See, I don't even know what that is. Now I'm repeating Mark. See, he's pretty good, that guy. He's pretty good.
Next, essence.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole category. Keep on.
Humanity.
Well, big word. Yeah, keep on.
Spirit.
Spirit's like soul.
Pulse.
That's like cadence.
Urgency.
I don't know if urgency is necessary. That's cadence but fast.
Grace.
Grace. Grace? No, not necessarily. Soul. Some. Is grace an emotion? I thought it's a delivery. Yeah. Okay, give us two more.
Intimacy, I think we already did.
Yes.
And for me, truth-telling.
Truth-telling. Transparency. We got it.
Cool.
Thank you, Daniel. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I want to stop and give you guys a break. Our brain's been cooking, but before I do, I asked this question, and I need a little bit more help. Is there any more meta lessons about how you can find your way back here when it's just you and a client or you and your best friend trying to figure out how to explain stuff to people, how to codify things? Oh, you have the mic. You talk,
Is it on?
he got you. Yeah.
Okay. I do think, because we talked about purpose, but that was too difficult. I do think there's one essence here that is values. That needs to be somehow in the checklist, because if you know your values.
Good values or bad values?
No, but
Everybody has values.
your personal values, because your personality is your extension of your values. And then you can check that in your content, like, is this aligned with my values?
Okay, we're hearing some yas.
It's almost like what you're describing
You have the mic.
It's like what you're describing, because I know you do branding, and that's your genius, and you're right. And that's what I think you were talking about back there as well, is that if you don't know your values, your messaging and your essence are going to be all over the board and inconsistent. So I feel like that's a step before this. And what Chris had said, it's a deep self-awareness to constantly remember, am I in alignment with my values? Am I in alignment with my mission?
Yeah, for example, if one value would be inclusive, that could not be
Could that not be
maybe
your
on
tone
that
and your mannerism?
list.
Inclusive tone?
Yeah, that could be in the word.
Okay, I'm going to ask this question
Okay,
to quickly see if we should dive deeper on this, because some people are just like, my bladder's going to explode. Let's get through this part. Have you ever written something that was out of alignment with your values and you knew it? Because if you've never done that, there's no point to add this.
I think I have.
Okay, not you. Somebody else. No, we'll get to you. We'll get to you. Knives out. Has anybody done something that feels out of their values? Okay, so there's two people in this room. 3-ish, 4, 5, okay. What's wrong with you guys? Why would you do that? Pardon me? Yeah. Like when you're younger and maybe had different motivations? Okay. All right, so far we'll explore it then. Motivations, I mean, in terms of values. Okay, so we've done things. Now, Emily, back to you. Okay. Yeah. When have you done something that feels out of alignment with your values?
For example, we talk about opinion and point of view, and sometimes I think, I have had an opinion not long ago where I'm like, this is something that I know will create some feelings in people, and then when I read it again, I'm like, is this really aligned with my values and my person, who I am, or did I just do that to get attention?
What was the answer?
Some things I did for attention, and then I don't like it.
Okay, there's two components to this, and I don't mean to like dive deep into the psychological rabbit hole that is Annalie. And just for a side note, Annalie and I talk a lot over 5 years now. So there's things, if I may just, is it okay for us to talk about here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll see. Whatever happened to Annalie after that Future Fest, we don't know. All right, here's the thing, okay? Our actions speak really loudly about our intentions and our values. Would you say? So, you know, like, don't trust what they say, trust what they do. They show you who they are all the time. So this is doing this, but this is doing more. So we pay attention to actions. So when one does something to get attention, does that mean one wants attention? Yes. Yes? It's only after that there's this inner conflict that it isn't aligned with societal values that I feel really bad. For example, if I am in a culture where they shun on people talking about how successful they are, and I do it because it's aligned, I don't do things I don't want to do, and I'm talking about my money, my success, my wealth, my fame, and then my entire tribe's like, you freaking braggadocious mother effer, get out of here. The difference that I have here versus the situation Annalie described was, I don't care. I have no guilt or shame because it's completely in alignment with who I am. My question to all of you, so if we take the first supposition, which is, if one does something, does that mean that this is your value? It's only after the fact that we have some of this idea of guilt or shame because it's out of alignment with what our society currently believes. Thankfully, our society keeps changing. You know how like people were first in line for Civil Rights March? They were first there when it's not popular, not because it's popular now. So they stuck by their guns even when it was difficult to do. So I know a lot about Swedish culture through Annalie. Seeking attention is frowned upon. So you can see the inner conflict that one has. So the real question for Annalie Hansen is, which is the true value? The person who is seeking attention or the person who is judging it poorly? Which is the real you? And please stand up. No, I was just, not literally. Not literally. It's an American game show. Sorry, you don't know. It's a game show.
ESL. Give me a break.
You're like European SL, you know, I got you.
If you say stand up, I do stand up.
Thank you. I appreciate you following the directions.
Oh, and that doesn't happen often, so you should appreciate that.
Figuratively, the real person stand up. Let that person be known.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is the real you?
I mean, I do think I like being in the spotlight. I like having an opinion.
Do you like getting attention?
I do. I love attention.
Well, then you're in alignment with your values.
Yeah, but my values is also don't shine a spotlight on yourself. Shine it on other people.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know. I know this is the problem, right?
Transparency, honesty, there's something in there.
Yeah, this is the problem, right? Because it's easy
It's a problem.
Yeah, because if that would be the truth, that I want attention, what does that say about me?
Okay, I want attention. What does it say about me?
I don't know. That
you say whatever you want. Freely. I give you permission.
Okay.
With
I mean,
violent
it
language and
could
all.
be that you could be self-important.
I'm saying literally me, not theoretically. I seek attention.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about me?
I think you do it for a good reason. You see, I just always have to have a reason to do it.
What is my reason?
If you would want, I think you want to teach a lot of people, and that's why you want attention.
Okay, so you see the intention behind the attention.
Yes.
Okay, is that okay?
That's definitely okay.
Do I need to justify it to you?
Maybe. That's why I go back to values and purpose, because I think I might judge you if you don't.
Do I? Have I? Do I justify it to you?
You never justify.
Well, then, be consistent then. You said you might judge me if I don't justify it. I've never justified.
But you're clear in your values and purpose.
I'm just being me. You get to interpret that. You all see the conflict?
I see the conflict. So do you mean if I'm being me in my intention and values, and then I still seek attention and I don't make excuses for it?
What's wrong with seeking attention?
It feels very self-centered.
It is. What's wrong with that? So you come from a place where there's certain values that society puts upon you, and you have to choose, do you want to belong to the society or you don't? Do you want to care or don't? That's a struggle everybody here has, because we're all from different cultures, right?
Yeah.
We know, because different cities, different states, different countries, different hemispheres, different ideas.
Yeah, and I think this is an ongoing journey, and I think it's important to talk about because of our different cultures. And I also think just being here and being on the journey that I'm at with you and with content, maybe I already have the answer that I don't want to do as my society is doing. It's just difficult to break free from that. So it takes a little bit longer maybe than if I would be born here, I think.
Okay, there are a lot of people that are born here who have the exact same challenge that you have. It's not where you're born. Go ahead. Just give me a second. Go ahead.
Okay. I think it's just the risk of being an outsider, like having a different opinion, because like historically, we as humans want to belong to someone. Now we have.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because
okay, what's your name again? What's your name?
Pat.
Pat from Poland.
Yeah, Pat from Poland.
Pat from
yeah.
Poland. Pat from Poland. Pat from Poland. Okay. Pat from Poland. The risk of having an opinion is people might not like you, and we know we're social creatures, so there's safety in numbers. We know. If we all came into this, I mean, we could do this experiment. If we all came in with yellow T-shirts or green T-shirts, and you're the one person who doesn't, you will feel really freaking awkward.
True.
We already know that. I might not, but you will. Okay? Because I actually choose to do the thing that stands out. Okay? That's a choice. So we understand that. And what Annalie had said here, and we'll continue with you in a second, is it takes time. It's not easy. It's difficult. And those are all true. Unless you say it's not difficult, it's easy, and it takes no time. The choice is yours. And it could take as long as you want, or it could be as fast as you want. Continue, Pat.
So yeah, like in the past, we risked it all, essentially being abandoned from like a group on your own. Maybe you survive, maybe you don't survive, but you know, if you don't belong, and you like it's, and you asked the question if I ever posted something that was like not like something that I would post normally. And it was just like outside pressure, because like that was something that was like expected from me, like from whatever, it was family, whatever. I need to post this because, you know, it's for a good cause and whatever, and didn't align with me. So
Okay.
I think, yeah.
I'm gonna cut you off here, okay? Here's a hot take I have for you. I'm just thinking this right now, so you can debate, and I will concede if you have a better argument. I don't think we're ever out of alignment with our values. Hopefully, thankfully, we mature and we change. But you know, like when you're that kid and somebody was getting beat up and you could have done something, but you didn't? Because at that time, you were a coward. But as you mature, you're like, you know what? I need to step in, and now I will take the bullet. I feel really shameful because the perspective I'm in right now, I know that that was not the right thing to do, but 100% you're going to do what you're supposed to do. The only exception is gun to head, ransom. Otherwise, you will do what you want to do. So if you steal, if you cheat, if you tell the truth, it's because that's in alignment with your values right now. And all I ask for all of you is to give yourself some grace that we're evolving humans, that our old self is not us. Our current self, our slightly future self is us. Let's focus on that. Because otherwise we judge ourselves too harshly, and then we're kind of caught in this negative loop. Okay? Does somebody want to argue with me that you actually act out of your values? Because I think you were a coward. I'm not saying you, Pat. You know? And it just, all the societal stuff makes you feel bad.
Exactly.
Right? It just makes you feel bad. Cyrus? Can I challenge that? Yeah, of course. I know you're going to. But please do it in a happy tone. Do it in an accommodating tone, please.
Yeah. I have a, well, as you were saying that, I was literally going through that story of what happened to me 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it started from a place of insecurity, and then it also simultaneously started from a place of self-preservation. Because I knew if I got enough attention, it would feed my greed for monetary value, some form of success. So I started taking sides that I never would have done if there was no.
Then why'd you do it?
Well, for the money.
Because you were greedy at that moment.
Right.
And self-preservation. So you were acting in alignment with your values at that time.
But it wasn't, I don't think it was from cowardice. I think it's simply from.
No, it's greed.
Yeah.
It's self-preservation. I'm not saying it is always cowardice. It's whatever you're feeling in that moment. Because you had a choice. Okay, here's the thing. Cyrus, do you believe we have free will?
There's times I've definitely felt.
Okay, that's a different conversation.
Okay.
We can no longer have this debate. Because the first rule of debate is you must accept responsibility for the things you say and do.
Yes.
So if you don't have agency, you're like, I couldn't help myself, Chris. Right? So you notice the language that Cyrus is using, something that happened to me. It didn't happen to you. You decided. Happening to me is victim language. You decided in that moment, I'm going to do this. And I don't blame you. I'm not here to... I've done stupid, ugly things too. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I have. We all have. Like when we were children, when we ate the ice cream and mom asked us who ate it, and we're like, well, me. You telling me you never done that? Because you're a liar. And you have impulse control problems. And you don't want to get whooped. See? You acted in your values. But hopefully as we evolve and grow and mature into our higher self, we have better values. So let's get back to Annalie, okay? Because I said, Drigo's like, let them pee. Let the people pee. But I can't, because we're in a hot moment. As soon as we're done with this, we'll never be able to come back. So Annalie Hansen and I have discussed this very topic 1,000 times. And you think I'm exaggerating? It's not. She's a horribly conflicted person who has certain ideas about who she is. And she's in a culture and society that, for whatever reason, she's accepted that gets to rule her own feelings and her motivations. So she's constantly battling herself. And because I know her so well, every post, every story, I see that battle taking place on the stage of social media. I'm like, I can see the two people fighting right now. Like, why do you say you want to do this, but then justify it? You're trying to appease both sides. So our European workshop, which was 3 years ago, the two-word brand I gave you is what?
Attention broker.
Yes, attention broker. So 3 years later, she's still struggling with this. So she wants it to take a really long time. That's the only reason why it's taking this long. Right? Now, I'll tell you something else. Annalie has enrolled a personal trainer to help her get healthier. We've talked about it for years. And then finally she's doing it. And she's hitting her goals, and it's amazing. And the amount of confidence and pride she has, right? It took her as long as she wanted to take. So for years, nothing. And then 3 months ago, something. It takes as long as you want. Now you want to challenge me. Go ahead.
No. No, you're right.
I'm right? Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't have to look like you're right.
No.
This is you're right.
No, okay, you're right.
Okay,
No,
thank
but
you.
I do think it's always, like you say, it's something that, okay, I don't know exactly how to say this, but we have something to win on not changing. There's somehow I get rewarded for my own behavior. And it's not until I get to a place where I like,
Who rewards
enough
you?
is en- I don't know. I am
You
not a
do.
psychologist. Like,
No, you do know. There's a psychologist next to you. Hand her the mic. Hand her the mic. She'll tell you.
So I think if we word it differently than he's been saying, that you're in aligned with your values, that sounds shitty if you did a shitty thing. What? I'm a shitty person now? So I think what it is values, we strive to be in alignment with freedom, integrity, whatever your values are. But when that kid gets beat up and you don't do something, the value that came up was self-preservation, social identity, acceptance. That superseded subconsciously, right? So we don't realize that it's a constant battle of we are striving to be in integrity, but there are things that happen where that subconsciously, again, you're not aware in the moment, ooh, this was more important. And then when you self-reflect, you're like, damn, I fell short of my values. But again, I think a lot of the time the values are our future self, the thing we're striving to be. And then with what Chris is saying about identity and the 3 years that it's taken, there's an attachment to our identity. It's ego. If I say I love attention, it feels good to be acknowledged by other people.
I know.
If you say that, you lose something.
What do you lose?
I'm not you. What do you lose?
okay, I don't know. I think, no. Do I?
There's a reason why they're sitting next to each other.
If you were to shout and In Sweden, in that culture, like you said, where you don't shine a light, what would those people say about you if you're like, I
she
love
could do that.
attention?
Yeah, voice the people. After you
my
saying
God,
that. Go
who,
see? I know
who
she
the
knows.
F
She knows.
do you think you are? You're nothing special. You're just like everyone else. That will make me feel outside and alone.
That's what Pat said.
Okay, that's the cost.
Wait, you have to hand the mic back and forth. That's how
The
it works.
cost is being lonely, ostracized, not belonging to a group. So then I would ask you,
Vulnerable.
is all of that, the cost, worth the potential reward of what Chris is talking, freedom to express and be who you are? Is it worth it? And often we say no, because it's the fear of the unknown. Until the pain is so unbearable, you're like, F it.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to land the plane, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to land the plane. You hold the mic, Melania. I want you to imagine yourself now, you're like, your health is poor, you're not very mobile, you're bedridden, and you're in hospice care, and there's a finite time for you left to live. Can you imagine yourself there? In 20, 30, 40, 50 years? Yeah? Can you visualize that? Most of your friends are gone. You're the last survivor. It's kind of done. Now, when they go to, put you in the ground or wherever they put you, and you look back at your life, how do you want to have lived? Under the rules of other people, never fully expressing your true. Well, you're shaking your head very clearly, but you're going like, yes. That's the conflict. So you're like, it's going to take a long time. It's really hard. So maybe you'll wait till you're 60. Is that a good time to change, Annalie? Can you hand her the mic, please? Is that a good time to change? 60?
No.
70?
No.
80?
No.
Okay, how about 55?
No.
54?
How about 51?
Sold.
Yeah.
How about today?
That's now. Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem I always have with you is in the moment you agree and the next post is the same, you're caught in the loop.
Yeah, I think
Because you're not committed to it.
No, I think also the behavior of doing something for so long. That's why this checklist is really good, because it's so like deep inside of me. So when you say why did you do that? I'm like, what did I do? I don't even know what I do. So I think just audit.
Oh, you know. You do know.
Audit myself and go back to a checklist. I think that's really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. When we come back, we will pick this up because I'm sure you're not the only person in this room. But I've done this dance with her alone, small groups, many, many, many times. And it's like, tomorrow I'll do it. Tomorrow I'll change. And it doesn't come. And it's sad for me to witness as a friend watching this, like, you could be exactly who you're supposed to be right now. Today's your day. Like the day that you decided to call your trainer, that was the day your life changed. It was a powerful, beautiful, exciting moment. And then you're still on the program. And every day that you're in the program, you tell yourself a new self-story. I'm capable. I'm powerful. I'm going to get this. Yeah? We'll see you tomorrow on the rings. No, I'm just kidding. Right? You see what I'm saying? But why do we hold special reasons why we can do some things and not others? Now, here's the thing, and I've drawn this diagram many, many times before. There's the true you, and it's ugly, because you're all ugly. You want attention. You want to be greedy. You want to make lots and lots of money. And that's okay, because I'm not here to judge you. I'm not your maker. I don't really care. Do whatever you want. But then there's this other person, and it's referred to as the persona, and it's who you show up to be included in society. In your society. And so the bigger the gap, the greater the amount of inauthenticity. We refer to this as your authenticity gap. Okay? And some of us know what it is, and we're consciously making decisions that go against our true self all the time. All of us in this room. Is it possible for them to be no gap? Probably not, but we're trying to minimize the gap. Wherever you are, we're trying to move in that direction. So whoever shows up is you all the time. All the time, as much as possible. And it's a beautiful feeling. I can only tell you what the end of the rainbow looks like, and it's freaking awesome. And I'll tell you how, and I'll prove it to you, okay? The authenticity gap, okay? This happens every single time. I asked Annalie, I like attention. I'm not even apologetic about it. I'm an attention seeker. You want to say negative things about me? She goes, no, because you're different. You did it. Okay, I want to make lots of money. I'm making money. I'm wealthy. I'm good. Well, okay, no, you could talk about money. You see, like, people make excuses for other people, but the one that they need to love the most and to give the most latitude to and the most grace is themselves, but they don't do it. I was in Ireland. I talked about money, and they're like, we don't like to talk about money here. But I do. But you're American. You can do that. And you can't. Why not? We have all special rules. We have crazy special rules. Okay? So, again, I'm just going to tell you why you want to wait so long. Because the more that I'm this, it's really weird. People just make reasons for you. I don't even need to try. I think Jody said, oh, he'll just wear a skirt. Everything will be kind. Yeah, it will be, because that's what I want to do. I don't care. I just don't care on that regard. Okay? All right, let's do a 15-minute break. There's 2 bathrooms. Good luck.
Hey, real quick, the 2 bathrooms are the ones when you walk out to the right. The Turner already said something to us. It found people going into the other bathrooms. So our 2 bathrooms are the ones when you walk out this door back here to the right.
Is this future?
Future.
Are you serious? They already said
0408.
that?
Yeah.
God
Veronica
dang
told
it.
me.
We effed up.
Yeah.
No, we just got started. Yeah, I will. I'll play music right now.